Mic check. What's going on, y'all? It is the Lord's Day. What's going on? Corey Mosley, what's going on? Let me know my levels is good. Bosnian 09, what's going on? Talk to me. Sean Zoo, what's up? Pixel Slapper. Novad Salir, the general in there. The wrench ready. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Walmer Espinoza, what's going on? Talk to me. Just filing into the room, get a seat. Congregation of the Lord's Day. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you pull up front. Oh, man. What's good? Let me make sure my levels is a little loud. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Shane. Yeah, I'm going to turn myself up. I see my levels still look a little low. All right, so turn myself up just a little bit. Y'all know I get loud, so I try to keep myself a little bit under control. We're going to get everybody in here. Phil Brown, what's going on? Dizzy, what's up? You know what I mean? Let's see. We got RRD. What's going on? Kai Batsu, thank you, sir. Much appreciated. That is the Lord of Timestamps, my mans. You know what I'm saying? You playing, okay. You playing that new raid? All right, okay, boss. No, you know, sir. No doubt. Thank you, Novad. Thank you. It's all good. I'll be watching my hide. Oh, we got the legends in here today. We got LogNet up in here today. Good thing I wore my LogNet shirt. So look, man, we're gonna get KMEGA up in the building. Attic I have not heard from. So we'll see what's going to solve. I have not heard from. So we'll see how this gonna go this morning. You know what I'm saying? Might be just calling a guess. Dado, what's going on? Season Game, happy anniversary. Season Gaming. Salute to them brothers. You already know. All right, Bosnian. All right. I'll check you out. Let's see. All right, so look, we're gonna get KMEGA up in here in a minute, and once the Lord and Kane, everybody pull up, I will return. I will talk to you guys in a minute. You already know what it is. I'll talk to you.
Oh my goodness.
All right. And I think, let's check these levels right quick. Yes, sir. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords Podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 187. That's a song. It's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm excited about our special guest, and we've got two major BioWare leads leaving the studio. Is Xbox Series X a disappointing console? And Series S performance targets to discuss, so we go get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord whose content I was first introduced to by great friends of the realm, Lords 108 Dragon TV, Bloody Knuckles, and Xbox 448. This Lord is more than mega within our gaming community, and his passion for his craft always shines through, whether it be his outstanding gameplay, respectful debates, and fellow OG gaming perspective. Introducing the creator and host of the KMEGA 405 YouTube and Twitch channels, host of the GRGPodcast, and a panelist of the next podcast, fellow G1 Transformers fan, and the Lord who reminds us to focus on what's most important, gamers recognizing games. He's been doing it live from OKC and making his long-awaited debut in the realm of the Lords. My man, Lord KMEGA. How you doing, sir?
Oh, bro, I don't even know how to take that, man. I mean, I know Xbox be giving out some great intros, but bro, that's amazing. Thank you so much, my man. It's good to be here, man. It's I'm just excited. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It's long overdue. People can actually see now that the beard is real.
It's official. It's official.
It's official. It's official. So, man, thank you guys.
I appreciate it, brother. Long overdue, man. You're a Lord of your realm. You've been putting it down for a while, man. Like, first of all, how you been and what you been playing, man?
Oh man, I've been prepping up and doing a lot of stuff for GRG, and doing stuff like that, and for my Twitch channel. So I haven't really been playing that much, but it's been Call of Duty, Black Ops, man. I mean, Cold War, man. Just been going crazy with it, man. Just been going real crazy.
No doubt. Respect.
Did your console crash on you?
Oh Lord.
No. Just turn the ray tracing off, people.
Just turn it. That's the secret.
Yeah. Just turn the ray tracing off.
What about the PlayStation? No, I'm just messing with you. Just turn the console off. Right?
I thought we had to keep it civil here.
We was keeping it civil till King got messy.
Hey, I'm just asking the console off. I'm just asking questions. Inquiring minds want to know.
No doubt, man. So you already know playing that card. And what's up? And it's good to have you in the realm, brother. We got a good show going on. So we don't have 4 horsemen. I don't know where one of our horsemen are. Shout out to Attic. He is somewhere in the bushes. I spoke to him briefly in this morning, but if someone could find our co-host, please let me know. We'd like to look for him. Oh, Soft, get that right quick. Get that right quick, Soft.
Shout out to Game Over Brian with the $5 super chat. Lord King, thank you for freeing me from the TCL shackles. I no longer eat off the floor. I now eat head of my table. I'm proud of a LG OLED 65 inch.
King, see what you did?
Totally respect, man. Total respect. I see you guys out here moving. I see you posting your televisions. I see you stepping your game up, and that's exactly what it is. It's about elevating past, mediocrity. Let's just walk past that TCL. Let's see it on the floor and let's just leave it there. Let's just leave them on the floor and let's go to the back.
Yeah.
Let's get service.
Send them to the back.
Inside the restaurant, you go, Garzon.
King
Don't
out
get
here
your food in
starting
the
to
bag.
move it. You know what I'm saying? King's
Already started, man.
Oh,
I got a QLED, so I'm good.
Oh, you
I'm
good? You got? Yo, he
I'm
threw his
good.
credentials. Yo, King making through his credentials. He said, yo, son, yo, I'm good. I got my black card.
They brought it out the back, right? When you went
Q90R, baby.
what brand you wanted, and they brought it out the back, told you meet you in the front, right?
Yeah.
They didn't slide your joint off the floor and put it on the
No.
right?
They came and they put it in the vehicle with special care.
Oh, there you go.
And then I think
Are
somebody
y'all
else-
implying that when y'all purchased a TCL
No.
TV that these levels of service?
Oh no,
it's
when
not
you got a TCL, I seen the people that was kind of next to me. They had a TCL and they just made them take it themselves. But they hand carried it
I can't with y'all.
Yo, they actually TV dude. They was like, yo, excuse me, I need help with the TV. You good?
I can't. So we get
man.
super chat. And then we can
No, shout out to the people with the TCL.
Shout out to
man.
TCL being best. Shout out to Lady
Yeah,
Infamous in the chat. GWG Megatron, what's going on?
What's going on, ladies? Megatron, what's happening, everybody, man?
Megatron trying to get you on that statue boat, man. Come on, man.
So we got Night Music with the $4 super chat. Good morning to you too, sir.
No doubt.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah, we looking for the young wolf. Hopefully we can find him. We'll join in progress. But we still got our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, the Lord of Clarity and patron of the Iron Bank, my man. A little tired this morning. Lord Sovereign, how we doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm looking like I just crawled out the
What
bushes.
happened, Mr. 11 a.m. Eastern? This is your time. What's going on?
I was feeling a little under the weather yesterday. I didn't really get too much in the way of gaming, but I did. I was just sitting. I was laid up on the couch watching my beautiful Lord of the Rings in 4K.
Yes.
Headset on,
Yes.
Dolby Atmos pop in. So I was all right, but I wasn't feeling super great. But I did get to game a little bit during the week because I was one of my jobs was closed, so I had to go in somewhere, but not the entire time. So I had to give my Xbox some love because I had been neglecting it. Once Miles Morales got put to the side and Astro said I got to give my Xbox some love. So I'm playing some Valhalla.
Me too.
Yeah, so Valhalla. I mean,
wait a second. You said once your Miles got put to the side in your Astro. Wait a second. I thought they had games. Oh, hold on.
All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Let's get to it.
Let's get to
it. So playing Valhalla, I tell you, it feels very different. In a lot of ways, it feels just like an Assassin's Creed game, right? But in the beginning, it feels very different in terms of the combat and everything than even Odyssey. So I was like, wait a minute, man, this feels a little weird. I don't know if I like this. But I'm like maybe 15 hours in now. So I've gotten a bunch of, I've unlocked a bunch of stuff, and now the combat feels a little more like I expected to, even though it does feel more brutal than it did in Odyssey. Like the things you can do, and I decapitated a dude with a hammer. Like it was crazy. So I'm enjoying it.
Visceral?
It really does. It does. It has that like heavy feeling to it, especially like I stopped using a shield as my secondary weapon. I just use another weapon in that slot, and I parry with that, and then so I have a heavy hammer in my left hand. So I did a move where I held down. I got the strong hit, and he jumped and just bashed the dude in the head, and his head came right off. I was like, oh wow,
that's how we doing it out here.
How we doing it. So I'm enjoying it. The game is gorgeous, man. That game is pretty. And I said, I'm playing Dirt. Like I said, Dirt.
Sure, you doing it with ray tracing on, yes, sir?
Oh yes, sir. This is the funny thing too, right? So like y'all, I have a high power PC that I barely use to game though. Like I just don't. I just game on the consoles more. Right. So you used to that 30 FPS. So playing games in 60 period for a minute now. It's like, all right. So that Assassin's Creed, they added the options now. They gave you the performance mode, and they gave you the fidelity mode, right? So I said, let me go to fidelity mode to see what bells and whistles they added. And I know they dropped it to 30. Dude, when I dropped it to 30, it looked like the game was broken to me. Like it was crazy. And I don't know if it was perception. I was like, is this really broken? Because it was so choppy. It didn't even feel slow. It felt choppy, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So I said, let me throw on Red Dead, because Red Dead, same thing. Red Dead is dirty, but it never felt choppy, very smooth. I throw Red Dead on, and all I do is just pan the camera around, and to my eyes, it's like, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
You start to see. My console brothers got mad at me when I saw that in Destiny. When I came back to 30 Destiny, I was like, oh no.
I can't do that.
And it's crazy because all of us, we've been had PCs that could do this. We're just console gamers. But yo, oh man. So your eyes really do just get adjusted to something different.
The finer things. It's different.
You notice that it's a perceivable difference in the smoothness, and especially at 120 hertz. It's really drastic, you know, and it makes it even harder to go back to 60. So I try to refrain from that one. But my 120 hertz is like at 1080p anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just like,
Wait, real quick, you picked up Dirt? I'm surprised.
I picked up Dirt because I said, you got to have your racing game at launch. And the thing is, Dirt, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which one you did? You did which bowl you did? You tried a bunch of.
Well, I haven't upgraded to the 120.
Oh, okay.
So I have
so you did the
4K 60, 4K. Yeah, but the thing about it is like, when that game, when it comes to, it's crazy. You will have one in the middle of a race. You will go from day cycle to night cycle in a lap, right? and then within laps too, you'll get changes in weather and everything that's just absolutely crazy. I mean, it's a straight up arcade game,
right?
But it's so gorgeous, and the mud effects, the rain effects, the weather effects, like it's no joke, man. It really is. Like I remember when in the previews, I remember Ryan McCaffrey saying like it doesn't look next gen, and I'm like, I don't think you're playing the patch version, bro, because this game looks really, really good in ways that, like, again, I'm playing Forza Horizon 4K now, and 60. I'm playing at 60 rather, and it's gorgeous. But it doesn't do. It's not. But it doesn't set out to do what
to Forza's
Dirt does.
Defense. Dirt is a controlled track in a controlled environment in a controlled.
It's not an open world, right?
Not an open world. Forza has to take into account the actual world.
Forza still be looking crazy.
It looks
ridiculous.
I got a chance to see Forza. It looks crazy.
It
looks crazy on the X.
I want that Motorsports to actually put that console to the test. But I saw
because you're saying like controlled environment and then max out and see what it goes.
Well, turn 10. Turn 10 is probably the best at learning the hardware from Xbox's hardware better than anybody. I mean, if you just look and see what they've done with Forza 5 all the way down, they have done just crazy. And then of course what Playground has been doing with Horizon, it's been spectacular.
And then I think Turn 10, that's why they're going to take all the rumors that Horizon 5 comes out before the next Forza. I think makes sense because 7 didn't really hit the way people expected it to. 7 was kind of launched with the X, didn't it? Like it launched.
But it had the adaptive triggers and the stuff like that. It did subtle things that really only car enthusiasts would have felt from going from 6 to 7. Right. Like going from it was just little subtle things. And I think that's the biggest problem right now, because I think fidelity wise we have hit a limit, right? So now you have to do subtle things to bring out more of what you're trying to see, like frame rate, of course, but then they go at it. Frame rate, of course, but then you want to do stuff like reflections and ray tracing, and then you want to, of course, make the crowd look a little bit more livelier. So it's little subtle things that changes the way the game looks now, opposed to back in the days. Like, because remember, we was playing Sega Rally. If you compare Dirt to Sega Rally,
game over.
So you want to get the super chats real quick?
I'll get these super chats real quick, and then one last thing. We got Smitty Smith with the $2 super chat. No more TCL manager specials. And we got Briscoe Son with the $5 super chat. Last episode of Mando had the OLED GX shining. A shout out to my C10 Oversaw.
Damn, why you threw the slander at you?
Just wait a couple of months when I get to see one.
And flex.
Exactly.
Flex. Exactly. Okay, I see you.
The FOMO didn't get me there. The FOMO didn't hear me.
They will not shame themselves. Continue.
Exactly. Yeah, don't shame me.
it ain't gonna work.
I will give you a history of my TV.
Oh my
Get out his pockets.
Yo, it's different. It's different.
It's different over there.
Yeah,
Flex to it. That was a real rich flex. Okay? You see that? That was a real picky
that
ring.
TV that's inside the living room. Well, no, you took that TV out, the plasma?
Yeah, I took it out. And that still smacks most things in the face.
Yo, that plasma when it came out was 15,000. So yeah, slow down.
Briscoe, I love you though. I love you.
Continue.
So we got a perfect show going with the $5 super chat. Good morning, Lord. Shout out to KMEGA, my 405 brother. It's Sunday, so that means fight night. I got that you. Like button chat.
I got you.
Then we got Cedric H with the $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. Please say something. Where are we? I think we're caught up. Yeah, real quick before we move on to King. I just want to say a big shout out to Big Bad Mo and J-Dub is a shill. Both our console winners have their console, so fantastic.
Nice.
I'm so happy to see you guys happy with your consoles. Enjoy, courtesy of the Lords, courtesy of Fat Daddy.
Yes.
Fat Daddy, Cat Daddy, not Fat Daddy.
yeah, Cat Daddy, not Fat Daddy. yeah. We don't know who Fat Daddy is.
Big shout out to Forte too for helping us with our Destiny giveaway. Big shout out to him. I believe I haven't spoken to him, but I think it should have arrived on Friday, but I have to get confirmation of that.
Yeah, we got a winner too. You got to speak to PD behind the scene.
Oh no, I had that. Are we going to talk about that today? Because
I didn't know if you was going to do it. So yeah.
No, I saw it. You know what it is that's now though didn't get at me directly on Discord, so I kind of didn't notice that the conversation was about that. But I have it in front of me.
Go. No doubt. So we'll get into that after I do my drink too. No doubt. Lord Addict, man, is the microphone? Just want to make sure that the co-host is here. I see him physically in the room, but just want to make sure that the voice is there.
It's a spirit here.
No, yeah, I'm here.
All right.
I had to work last night.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Then I got stuck at work. So
you got stuck at work, no doubt. So the co-host with the co-host, what's going on, man? I'll give you an abbreviated intro. So I wasn't sure if you were here or not. What have you been playing anything at all prior to getting called into work, sir?
I was playing Destiny all week, pretty much. That's about the extent of my week was Destiny. And I've been playing Attack on Titan too. Trying that out because it was realize how much of a backlog I have, and I'm like, I can't justify buying anything. I got to just start playing these games.
Word. I feel that.
So yeah, and I have no clue why my camera's not working. I'm going to work on that. What you guys talk?
No doubt. It's all good. We're gonna say we're working on technical difficulties, and of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the XS Gamer.
Ooh.
The prophet of Xbox, king of the statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how we doing, sir?
Oh, we doing fantastic. Woo! Houston, stand up. Philadelphia, stand up. Oh my God! Last night, if you watched those fights, you saw my boy come back from a car wreck that killed most people. Oh man, I've never been so afraid and so happy to see a fight in my whole life. I was so terrified in what Errol Spence Jr. The truth will look like in a fight after that horrific car accident that nobody ever truly knows what goes on. Because I know Danny Garcia, Philadelphia, stand up. Your champion represented himself well. You know, there's a difference in boxing. There's levels to this. And Danny is a strong champion. Danny has fought Sean Porter, damn near to a draw. Fought Keith Thurman, damn near to a draw. He's fought Zab Judah, beat up Zab Judah. He has fought champions. He has beaten champions. He has been the junior welterweight unified champion, and he's been a welterweight champion. So there's no reason to hold your head down. But you was in there with the truth.
Woo.
And from round one, the word was spoken. And it was true.
Woo. Dallas was in the building.
Oh my God.
That's on me, baby.
Am I back now?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, you back.
Bro, out there, I guess y'all call it Comcast, but out here it's called Cox Communications. They do that little internet run check.
Yep.
And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, wait, hold on. Not today. Not on all days.
You good.
Like,
You good. You back in the building, brother. You back in the building on the
we
Lord's
back,
Day. You good. You good.
You said, wait. It's called what communication?
Yeah, no, it is called that. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. We're gonna move on from that. COX. He's official. He's not swearing on the Lord's Day. He's just telling the name.
I'll be like, no. No.
You don't want to
knock on my name.
You don't want the ISP.
We're gonna rename communication. No, sir. No, sir.
That's a real joint. That's a real joint.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know.
So
y'all gonna make me call it Comcast from here on.
Well, no, a couple years ago, Comcast was looking into buying them.
Oh well.
Yeah, they should have brought.
They do own them.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they own them already.
Yeah,
okay.
they are. Yeah, they
Let's
own.
move on from the communication that shut out.
They need to change that name. Anyway, so the truth was definitely shown. It was some minor things. I saw some ring rush because he's been off for
Delilah agrees. She said by a landslide he looked good. He said he was a little rusty. She said in her opinion.
Well, Delilah in the 9th round when he caught the head bunt from Danny Garcia, I noticed a little difference, and it was probably a little disorienting because for 2 rounds he kind of coasted a little bit to like to clear his head.
Yeah.
The 11th round, because he asked his corner, he said, yo, did I lose the round or something? And he was like, no, just go out there, keep doing what you're doing. And in the 11th round, he went out there, started exerting himself. And in the final round, he definitely put a stamp on the fight. Danny Garcia was beaten by a landslide. Again, it is levels to this.
Yes,
he
sir.
is by far the pound per pound champion in boxing right now. It's not Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford resume is nowhere close. Terrence Crawford would have got knocked out by Danny Garcia last night. And I'm gonna be 100% with you, Terrence. You're too light in the butt. You better stay away from them dudes. Stay away from them top welterweights. Yeah, but Sean Porter is hunting you right now, so you got bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
All right. What I've been playing.
Let me throw the game pass up right now because I know where this is going.
Yeah. Okay. So
Control.
So you already know King Game Pass over here.
Yeah, let's go.
All that stuff that y'all talk about your purchase, I ain't listening to you. But I was playing Dragon Quest. I saw that EA put for all you NHL fans.
Yeah,
I saw they took it back for y'all.
Took
it back. I did see that. Yes.
94.
Yeah. I put in a game called Haven.
Okay.
Excuse me. And Haven, it has a performance mode.
Okay.
Boy, with fidelity. It felt smooth. It felt nice. It's a nice little different game that I'm learning right now. So I just started it. I'm probably like an hour into it, but it feels fun, different, and smooth. So I like the direction of the game and where it's going. But shout out to Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer for justifying the fact that I'm never buying games again.
Game
Control.
Bro.
Control is in Game Pass. Control is in Game Pass. I told you dudes, hold up. Man, don't spend that money, especially giving 505 that bread, because 505 is a bunch of crooks.
Oh my God.
So,
Control.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you,
worth the download on Game Pass.
Oh, y'all messy. Y'all need to stop.
But no, let me tell you, Addict is right. Addict is 100% right.
Here we go.
Because I'm gonna say this about Control. Now, we was on midweek mix up.
Oh yeah.
And they said, "Yo, are you going to go get, because it's $8 right now? You can get the unlimited joint." I'm like, "Oh, and it has the ray tracer?" Yeah. Well, apparently the ray tracing don't come until next year sometime.
Well, it don't come in that Game Pass version.
No, it don't. It's not available at all, period.
Well, yeah, the ultimate. So the ultimate is the ultimate. It's not out, right?
No,
it's not out yet.
No, it's not out. Like
I posted. I posted on Twitter of how disappointed I was in the fact that you have to that you had to pay extra for the DLC, but the one thing that made me pay for it was the fact that I didn't have the DLC, because I bought the game day one because I'm a big Remedy fan. So it was like, all right, I'll go ahead and I'll chew it up, because it was $19, and then I've also had some Xbox reward cards. So you need a little. So there's a little stamp you need to put up there. You know what I'm saying? Where it needs to be Xbox rewards.
Xbox rewards be doing their thing every time you log in.
You know the crazy thing? the crazy thing when it comes to control is
why he comes out of his way. He changes the conversation
to get right back. I know what he's doing. I know he's doing.
Because I was trying to talk about control and it got changed to that.
Go ahead.
So, like, the part that blows my mind is like people like the only way you can fully like enjoy control stories if you read everything, all the dialogue, everything. And the same people telling me because you have to read stuff for Destiny to have a story. The same people telling me that I need to read everything in the game to understand what's going on in control. And I'm just like,
I knew this.
like it's not like. I would say once you get levitate, control it comes to a man. I hate this game. Do an enjoyable game, but by the time you get levitate, you might as well close the store. Like, it's literally like the last hour and a half of the game.
Back to my experience. So
no, Addict had to get his balls off because he's tired. He's tired of people talking about control.
Yeah, but see, I think control is by far one of Remedy's worst games.
Wow.
And I'm going to say this.
That's not saying much either because that don't make too many good games.
This is why I'm going to say
I got you, K-Mac.
Right?
Yeah, thank you, bro.
I
didn't come here for this slander. I don't know what's going on.
I'm with you, Let
me explain. I feel Quantum Break is by far a better game, and I see why.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I see when there's Microsoft money thrown behind something.
For the bushes.
Yeah, but one is higher in the bushes and one is lower. It's level to the bushes, boy. Some is closer to the dirt.
Why is it better than
story?
Exactly. Okay, good. We agree on that 100%. We agree on that.
Control. I feel it's called Control because it has the best control of any Remedy game I've ever played. All right. Yeah. So they control, and the fact that the physics in the world and destructibility, we're at a different age right now. So Remedy has a bunch of tools. So I want to see their game with these consoles, their next game with these consoles, because they have the story narrative down that was kind of missing from this game. I don't like the fake thrown into a world. What's going on here? Who is this person? I hate that. I really hate that fake psychological thriller.
I got you on that.
Right. So, but right now I'm halfway through the game. I love the control aspect of it. The feeling of the game. If I lose in a fight, it's because I lost in a fight. Right. It wasn't because of the controls and I was mixed up with the buttons or whatever the hell, like in Quantum Break.
Right.
There's a lot of times in Quantum Break that I will definitely lose because of the control.
Got you.
Right. So they fixed it, they named it properly. But again, I'm still like the character's small, but it's also zoomed out. I felt Quantum Break was their pinnacle, and to take a step down into this, I'm like, I was expecting a little bit more.
Okay. So it's been pretty much that for Control.
Yeah, and Destiny, sir. Destiny is every day, all day.
You already know. See you on Tuesday, sir. It'll be glorious to come back to you. You know
what
I'm saying?
Welcome.
Talking about step down.
After the reset.
No doubt. Shout out to Stephen Clark says, "Why am I singing like Janet Jackson right now?" Control. Anyway.
I got that song in my head.
I got it in my head now too because he said it.
Had a huge crush on Janet Jackson. Still do actually.
Janet.
You played Super Bowl, right?
Moving along, and of course we have
the Super Bowl, right?
Woo! This is the Lord's Day, gentlemen.
I'm just saying, it was a good Super Bowl. I like football. Come on, man.
And of course, we have the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi Unlocked, LordCognito. Spread that real to the rum and ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Shout out to Stitch. We got Stitch right quick, right? Control is Quantum Break.
Yeah, we got two that we missed. We have we got Microwave K, Best Size Finest with $5 super chat. King, I just got my Samsung Q90T QLED. The HDR is godly on this TV. Oh yeah,
salute to those QLEDs, baby. I hear all this OLED mess. Them Samsungs, baby, they the truth.
I would just tell you this: don't buy another Samsung TV for the next 2 years. Don't do that.
Yeah. I know. I've been sitting here talking to 108 and other people, man. He's trying to talk me into getting that nano cell, but
Yo, Kay, I'm with you. I got the 9F, so that's inside the living room. So I'm with you. Don't worry.
Then we got Stitch with the $2 super chat. Controllers is Quantum Break 2.0. Yeah, we're caught up.
Yeah,
That's
man.
true.
Yeah, man. So shout out to, like I said, no last word this week, man. Salute to my bro E Bontis. Going through some internet issues. I don't know what's going on with Texas, man. Don't know what's going on, man. But
They shut down Texas for Earl Spence Jr. So
yeah, maybe that's what Arrow's in the building, man. The truth, you know what I'm saying? He had Yellow Beezy and them, you know, they was doing it up. But yeah, man. But look, man, yeah. So we will be back probably next week. Have a good show lined up for you guys. Yeah, I've been kind of transitioning my way over to Series X a little bit more full time, as you know. Destiny 60 Frames will be coming out on Tuesday, so I'm just getting myself acclimated. Yo, Quick Resume is working again in all its glory. So shout out to everybody. I put up a little fun video. I thought it was pretty cool because I know when I first got the Series X, it wasn't working with Yakuza, and it kind of turned me off, made me stop because I'm like, damn, I want to do. You realize, Sav, it's the feature you don't realize that you needed when you have it. So when I had it, I was like, damn, every game except Yakuza, the games I wanted to play, wasn't doing it. So now it looks like they shout out to Jason Rano, Lord Jason Rano, shout out to Major Nelson. He said it on his podcast earlier this week that a lot of those stuff they had disabled it until they could patch it for certain games. Then they brought it back. So I was like, I'm gonna put it to the test. So yeah, I put something up. It was like Valhalla, Yakuza, State of Decay, you know what I'm saying? And Gears Tactics. And just going back and forth and just leaving at the exact save state is so cool, man. So it actually makes you multitask games a little bit more. So I've been doing that. Also on the side, I gotta give me a little Game Pass shout out. This is only King second. I'm playing this stupid little game. I don't know why I like it. It's called Yes, Your Grace.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yo,
what is that about? Because I heard about that. I heard it was good.
Yo, it's mad funny. So you the king, right? You know it's Iron Lord. It's Iron Lord. It's all Iron Lord. Like you the king, right? So you sit on your little throne or whatever. So this stuff like, oh, kind sir, you know, we have this problem here. We would like to know, you know what I'm saying, if you could take care of it, whatever. And then, like, there'll be little instances of the kingdom, and you got to go around the castle. And then also, like, as soon as the game start, like, you go in a war with another group. So they capture one of your peoples and be like, yo, he was hiding behind the bushes. What you want to do? We want to execute him now? Or we going whatever. But it's like, meanwhile, our man is low against this fight. So what you want to do? So everything has like a weighted decision. So I was like, off with his head. He's a traitor. We're going to make an example of him. Right? So it's just fun little medieval foolishness. Like, it's just funny. Like, it's like 8-bit style graphics. Again, free on Game Pass. It's called Yes, Your Grace. The name is fire. I was like, I gotta get it because of the name. So salute to Yes, Your Grace. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So I was rocking with that. But yeah, man. And now, like I said, just trusted the what you call the resume feature and all that other stuff. Getting ready for Tuesday, as you already know, it's about to go down. But yeah, man, we got some stuff we want to get. Did we get Smitty Smith?
Yeah, hold on a second. The last Smitty Smith? No, Smitty Smith with the $5 super chat, LordCognito, and the Cognition. I will leave. Why that sound like a band? I will leave the light on for you, brother, on December 8th.
Yeah, that sound like
an 80s R&B band.
Yeah, that sound like Prince of the Revolution. I'm with that. I'm with the Cognition. What's up? So look, man, we're gonna get into it before we get into KMEGA. We got a lot to talk about. But yeah, man, real quick, you know, it's that time of the month. We gotta do what we do, y'all. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? It's that time of the month for lordsofgaming.net, man. Look, man, salute to the team, salute to the writers, man. Everybody involved. It's that time of the month. We're gonna definitely, you know, pay homage to the great editorial team and all the writers. So look, super proud of what we're doing as a website, continuing to grow, continuing the trajectory and all that good stuff. So it is December, so now we want to acknowledge the previous month's past winner at LogNet, you know what I'm saying? And the scribe of the month for November 2020 in a very fierce and competitive, high-quality month of writing is Eugene Schaefmeyer once again, a.k.a. Lord Gene, going back-to-back. No, he go back-to-back, but he won it the second time this year. But salute, Gene. Salute to you, brother. I mean, not only a fantastic writer and reviewer, but look, now a lord of hardware reviews. I saw the PlayStation 5, the DualSense, the 3D headset review was really strong. Also, he did some fantastic articles on SeriesX load times and enhancements, and a Dirt 5 enhancement article that was very strong. So salute again, truly diverse, outstanding talent, Lord Gene. You will now be immortalized on the site for a month. So speech.
I like to call him very quick. I like to call him the human pre-order machine.
Yes. Oh yeah, he be helping the realm too, man.
His help to the realm with these consoles and stuff like that has been unmatched.
Yeah, superpowers. I'm gonna tell you now.
So Lord G, we need a quick speech, man.
Oh man, it's great to be back. Thanks for having me back. Thank you guys. Thank you, Cog. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Dizzy, Undead, Mancho. Woo. I love working with you guys. It's great, and without them, the stuff wouldn't get edited and be put up. So it's really great working with you guys.
Appreciate you, brother, man. Fantastic. Is that a Dreamcast on the back of you? I'm seeing like some classic consoles. You out here stunting. What's that, G? You need to be your
Yeah, if you don't have 5 or 6 Dreamcasts, are you even a gamer?
I respect that. He got him on deck. That's what's up, man. But salute to you, bro. Like, again, you've been killing it. And again, fierce competition this month, but once again, doing your thing. So you already know, make sure you hit up Lord Swag. Well, first of all, you were immortalized on lordsofgaming.net for the month. So go check out lordsofgaming.net. You can check out G. You can check out his work. He will be there. The scribe of the month is up. And you got to hit up Lord Swag, man. Get that free IOP Royal Swag of your choosing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that Lognet Brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Go, listen, man. Go for the sweater.
Go for the sweater. I say go for the gator.
Listen. It's getting a little cold. Go for the sweater. Don't listen to him. Go for the sweater. And if you get a chance, try, since you're a 2-time winner, I would say throw in a beanie too. I would say throw in a beanie.
Winter season.
Yeah, because it's cold, man. It's that time. You want to be standing next to the Christmas tree, singing your rules. You want to be out there with your mug. You want to, you want to do your thing, man. So definitely. Looking and getting a little snuggy.
Salute to Lord G again. Thank you so much, brother. Fantastic.
I have to go to King because I get the better gear from him.
You like that shirt, right?
Hey, it's so nice. Yeah.
Listen, man, we ain't got that premium budget. Like, we got to deal with what we can deal with. But salute to you, man. Salute to you, man. Outstanding work once again, bro. Thank you so much.
Listen, when I tell you that Gene has superpowers, I just want to say the one story again. But we was at one place, right? And Gene was like, he sent a picture of the club that he was at. It was nobody there. So we took a picture of where we was, and we was getting free food. I turned around. I swear to God, we just sent it.
Yes.
I turned around to say like something to Macho, and I turned to my right, and Gene was standing.
Gene is in our spot already.
Not a piece of sweat popped off his head. Nothing.
That's the fastest Uber I've ever seen.
Yeah, Uber. I don't even know how he got through security that fast. I was like, but he got superpowers. That's my guy.
Salute, Lord G. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your day, sir. And of course, what I was gonna say, Saul, we got some bills we're gonna play. We got stuff.
Well deserved.
So, speaking of Patreon, we still have a couple winners from last month's Patreon that have not seen me. Lord Sparty on.
Yes.
And oh God, I forgot the other person. But anyway, this is totally my fault. I was in the bushes this week and I completely forgot to see the list for Patreon today. So we'll do Patreon next week, the new Patreon. That gives our old patrons another week to get at me. Get at me so you can get your stuff.
Get your wings.
But as you guys have seen on Twitter, we have had a Cyberpunk giveaway going on. And today is the day where we announce our winners because Cyberpunk comes out next week. That's what they say.
I don't agree with how you said Twitter. That's trademark. Only I can do that.
I don't see a TM next to it when you speak, so
it's trademark. So you're gonna have to say it normally, sir.
I need to see that trademark application. Thank you.
It does not matter. You're gonna have to say it normally.
and being that all trademark applications go through me.
Yo, he flexed on it. Yo, you crazy. I'm with you, Addict, though. That's your statement.
He said Twitter. Twitter. So his Twitter was fraudulent.
Time. Let's get on with the winning.
So the winner of our Cyberpunk 2077 giveaway of course, big shout out to Lord Snowdle for having to deal with the hours of the BS as he always does.
You frauds.
Stealing
fake accounts. Bot counts, but anyway, moving along.
So the winner is Lord Baron J67 at Twitter.
Baron J,
congratulations to you, sir. I have your info, so I will be checking you in the DMs, and I will be getting you that code. Did we say platform, or it was
Xbox for sure? Whatever.
It was Xbox for sure.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I was if it was winner's choice because PlayStation be funny about that.
Yeah. All right, so we all good. Salute, man. We'll give it in one more time so you guys heard.
Baron J67.
Baron J67, man. Like I said, hit up Solve, get your winnings.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. Get that fly stack, get it all, man.
And you start downloading from today.
Yes. Get your pre-download on. So look, we're gonna get into it, man. A lot of show to discuss, but now we got the business finished. We got the Scribe of the Month finished. You know what I'm saying? We gotta focus on Lord KMEGA. You know what I'm saying? His video game system history, and of course, what led him to his amazing YouTube channel and that iconic GRG podcast. So, Lord KMEGA, man, let's start from the beginning. What was some of the first video game systems you had? What kind of got you into gaming?
All right, so I've told this story like a million times, but you know, basically, I got started up. My mom used to go to the laundromat, and of course, you know, I'm young. I'm like 3 years old. I'm being bad. I'm running around and stuff. That's what she would tell me. I mean, you know, but you know, when I was at the laundromat, she gave me some quarters and to play an arcade, and it was a table arcade. So that kind of tells you my age. So we go in and we do that, and I play it as Pac-Man. That keeps my attention, and then it moves over to arcades, to arcades where people actually the tall arcades. And then it went to the Atari 2600, and then to the NES, and I take that back. I got the ColecoVision. I got the ColecoVision. My grandfather got me that, and then I got the NES, and then I moved over to
question because you're jumping too fast, sir.
Yeah,
okay.
So, all right. When you went from the Atari, did you get the Pac-Man on Atari?
Yes.
Bam, 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 bam. Okay.
Right. And it wasn't, and it was kind of disappointing because it wasn't anything like the arcade. I was already mad about that. Yeah. But I mean, you talk about a young kid, man. I was just happy that I had the Atari because, you know, I've never seen that. Go ahead.
All right. So you went to Coleco. Did you get the Pac-Man for Coleco?
No. I had one game, and it was a football game, and I didn't even know how to play it. So I rarely bet that thing. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was a football game. I rarely got a chance to play it. And I was just mostly on my Atari. So that's why I don't really talk about those
early days. Yeah. I just wanted to know because it was like night and day because I had both of them. And then when I went over to ColecoVision, I was like, oh, I see now I'm playing with power. No. It things look better over there, but it just the controller was different. Everything was
you ain't like that phone? You like that?
No, I didn't like that. I was like, no, I wasn't about that life. I was about that Atari life, that 2600 life. But I was
joystick red button, baby.
Yes, easy. You know, I had a Dodgem. I had I was one of the people who had ET. I didn't know how to play it.
Nobody did.
I didn't know how to play it. I got so far, and then I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And, you know, I had a Pitfall, and I had Pong, of course, and then I had Pac-Man. But that was really the only 5 games that I had back then. And then if also, you know, it was crazy because my mom and my grandparents, they always thought I was just an idiot because I would be playing this stuff, and they were like, my grandfather like, boy, why are you always messing with these funny toy electronic boxes? Why do you want these things? But they still supported me, man. They still supported it and got it, and it was great. And if you remember, if you go back, there used to be those little portable Donkey Kong and
little mini tabletops.
I remember I got that for Christmas, man. I was so elated. Well, crazy. Wow. So I got what? I had Donkey Kong. Yeah, they had it at Donkey Kong.
Let me stop only one that I had. 1 second, K, man, because you just dropped a major bomb. And something we don't really talk about, you know what I'm saying, King and Solve can relate, is that the arcade mini tabletop scene was a big thing back in the day. And King can attest, remember the little portables before Game Boy, where you had the one game, it was like static images of black and white, and they had the 2 buttons. The game that you got in trouble for, King, you know what
I'm Donkey Kong Jr. I stole the money from the I got tore up that day because my boy, I'm never gonna forget Hubert Bailey.
Yes, you remember the name.
Yo, that's right. I'm shaming you. Hubert Bailey threw me under the bus. He snitched. That's my first encounter with a 6'9". You know, he snitched straight in my face right there. I was like,
He did it.
Like, wow,
But
right in front of the police. I'm like, wow.
Yo.
My mom called me up.
Man.
Them joints was real. I wanted to shout that out because it's something that I guess in gaming culture, from our generation that we don't talk about a lot because those were a big thing. And there were many different versions of these portals. And then they had the ones that had like a clamshell that had a top screen and a down screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's one that I had. There's one that I had that wasn't. It wasn't a Coleco one. It was another one. I forgot what it was called. It was like Alien Attack or something like that. So that thing is worth upwards of $2,000.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
It's
crazy.
insane.
That's crazy. Get the super chats real quick. Though. We can get back to KMEGA.
Yo,
we got 108. Hold on, let me see. Make sure. Just a friendly reminder. This is Stitch with the $5 super chat. Just a friendly announcement: both Xbox Series consoles can emulate older consoles like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, and GameCube, and so much more. Yes.
Yeah.
The true back compat.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you that's a unbeknown byproduct of good engineering.
Yeah.
Good engineering.
That's what's up. What else?
Yeah, it's funny because Stinger was talking about that because I was thinking about buying a PolyMega as well.
After that Series S. Very good.
Yeah, there we go. 108 Dragons with the $2.
GRG.
Good Iron Lord in the building. What's up, brother?
So good to see you in here, brother. 108 in the building. You already know. And 6 we got GRG rapping in here. All body, come on.
Yeah, for real. They come support. Look at that.
That's what's up.
The family.
We have Super G with the $2 super chat. Donkey Kong Jr. with the orange case.
With the orange case. Picture Grey, what you know about that?
With the orange case and the green buttons. I know what I got my butt tore up for. I'll never forget it.
That's why everybody's going crazy over the Game & Watch because that's nostalgia. I mean, it's Super Mario 1 there now, but
I got it.
Yo, those are I had Popeye. I had Pac-Man. Oh man,
classics, man.
Yeah, all y'all had family with money. I got just Donkey Kong.
No, yo.
This was, this is the thing you ask for at Christmas time, right? You go to the grandparents. My grandparents were very good about getting me exactly what I asked for. Like a lot of times, grandparents will
mess it up.
Yeah, they'll mess it up, whatever.
Yeah,
my grandparents were very, very good about getting me exactly what I asked for.
Bro.
I didn't have none of that. So what I had was me, right? So let me tell you something, KMEGA. Out in them streets, I'm 8, 9 years old. I'm making sure I'm getting what I got to get. It is what it is.
It is what it is, bro. I got you.
Who was dropping flyers for the Chinese restaurant, packing bags in the supermarket, helping old ladies across the street. This boy was out there trying to get a buck, and I was not stopping.
Bro, I was the same way. I was out there cutting yards. I was doing all types of stuff, man. When I was young, man, about 10 years old. So yeah, I totally know.
So
I was baling hay at 12 years old, man. So that's why I'm as big as I am now.
No doubt. Back to you, KMEGA. I just had to get that ball.
No. It's all good. All right. So
the NES.
Yeah, I went to the NES, and actually, that was the first time that I actually got into a single player game and that was Rygar. Rygar was the game of my life right there. And it still touches my heart. And so it took me some years later on when I got older to finally beat that game. But it drew me in. And then of course just everything else with Nintendo. I remember when we used to go back in the days, go into Walmart and they would have it on display and there would be a row of kids that was there. And so I would sit there, we'd be playing, and there was balloon fight and ice climber and all that. And I was like, I gotta try to get all this. So that's when I started like trying to, compromise with my mom, and I was like, hey, I'll do some chores, I'll do this and do that. And she was like, boy, you're gonna have to go earn your own money if you want to try to get this. Yeah. And so, and then eventually she got it for me for Christmas. But
that's what's up.
And then that's when I kind of realized that Santa Claus wasn't real.
Those young realizations.
Yeah, the realization I see them put it in the back of the trunk, and so I played it off, but I was excited as hell. I knew exactly where I was like, man, where is that? Damn, I want it. But yeah, salute to my moms for that one. But yeah, it was that. Then just all the great Russian Attack. You got, Nintendo.
Wait, hold on. I can't let you pass.
Metal Gear.
You naming greatness right now. You touch me. You cannot just gloss over Russian Attack.
Russian
Son,
attack, the jigga jigga.
Brother, with the
That was the first
Bro.
game with the jigga jigga.
That was
Like you
the-
remember,
yeah.
he was like jigga jigga.
Yeah. So they had remember it was a spot. We used to
It
go,
was a spot that we used to go to right next to the Double Dragon.
you
spot.
already know it. That was a very shady spot. But they had that Russian attack. They had that Russian attack, sir, and that joint had the alarm that go off, and the main character looked like Flip from G.I. Joe.
Yep.
Yes.
Rush and attack was a
That's
classic.
why I love it, because I was a big G.I. Joe transformer.
Me too.
Gen 1 transformer. So yeah.
Let's go. Continue.
All right. So then, of course, then you move to Metal Gear, and then you had those Kid Icarus. I'm just trying to go through my head of all those games that I've been playing for Nintendo. I mean, you just so many. Well, now take this. The one game that I was most disappointed about on the NES was Ninja Gaiden, because I was playing it at the arcade, and I was, and then you just go and do that. But then of course there was Turtles in Time. There's just so many games that was just playing on Nintendo. It was just ridiculous. And so then I've eventually moved on to Sega. And
Which system?
the Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then I got the Genesis, and by this time I'm older. I'm
Pockets good.
doing my thing. Yes. Well, yeah.
Pockets improving.
I'm doing my thing. I'm junior
If
high.
you had a Sega and you went and purchased, your pockets was good.
They were decent. They were decent. So yeah, and then of course there was Shinobi.
Oh yes.
That it was the one thing why I never forget Shinobi is because the very end, before you got to the last boss, there was a jump.
Yes.
And I couldn't. That jump took, I don't know how many days it took me to get to just to make that jump to get. Because when you got to the boss was easy to kill. But when that jump to get to him was awful. So yeah. So it kind of reminds me of Ninja Gaiden when you had to make that jump to get to to fight the boss the first time and all that. And I was like, what is going on here? But anyway, but there's Shinobi. There was Bill Walsh football, of course. There was NBA Live. Just Eternal Champions.
I made the mistake, right? So I think Bill Walsh and Madden came out at the same time.
No, Madden was out before then, because there was people that was playing on PC. Yeah, but yeah,
it was a time where they both had dropped around the same time.
Yeah,
my stupid behind went to 181st Street, and I grabbed Bill Walsh, and these dudes grabbed Madden, and they put these Madden on, and I was looking up. I gotta take my game back.
Bill Walsh, I forgot about that joke.
Oh yeah. Bill Walsh and Madden. Yeah. Before I even played, man, I was playing Bill Walsh and I was playing Joe Montana's football.
Oh, I love it.
Well, bro, it was ridiculous. Those graphics at that time was just out of this world. And so when I finally did start playing Madden, and then you had that other flip, the way that Madden used to play, like Madden plays now, the front. But yeah, because Joe Montana played on the side. So and I was kind of like, whoa, I mean, and so I was playing Madden from that angle, because they used to have that angle, and I was like, oh, this ain't working. So I had to flip it back. But yeah, I mean, there was so many games that I played. There's just so many lists. I mean, I see that somebody in the chat that brought up Bad Dudes. I played that too.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I do need to go back to the NES and bring up a couple of games, because I got them on Xbox right now. And on PC. Was Dodgeball. That was a classic.
That game was crazy.
Double Dragon.
Let's go.
There was another game that was called Renegade.
Yeah, Renegade. That was the joke on the train station where they used to try to get you. The ghouls is on the train station, son. I remember that shit.
Yes.
That game was hard as hell.
Bro, it was hard.
Yes.
Man, there wasn't too many Nintendo games that weren't hard. That's why when people talk about, these games can we get an easy button? Bro, there was no easy button back in our days, man. In the arcades, and when you was messing with the Nintendo or the Sega at the time, there was no easy mode. I mean, Ghosts and Goblins and Ghosts and Ghouls and no.
That was hard. That was another very difficult.
Very difficult. Rygar was really difficult. That was the thing too. Like, I mean, there was just so many games out there that was different. What was it? Kid Nicky, I think that was called.
Yeah.
Where we had the spinning swords and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That game, Bayou Billy. I mean, just tons of games. But
Yep.
yes,
Bravo, man.
yeah, oh man, bro, the one game that made me rage quit, and I was renting games back then, so you know we had to go to the place, little store. Shout out to Video Haven out there, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to you guys. I know, but they're gone. But as my boy would say, they're in the bushes. But the thing of it is that they I used to go rent those games over there, and there was a game. There was Captain Planet. And that game was so difficult. I got on my kid's move, my inner kid's move, man. I broke my Nintendo controller. I was so pissed. I was like, "What do you do?" I was done. I was done with that.
Those are the days, man. Those
yeah.
are the days, for sure.
Okay, but other than that, then you know, the Sega, and then Sega CD, and then that was, you know, there was Sonic, and then Eternal Champion CD, because you know I'm big into the fighters and stuff like that, and so then I had to make a choice, because at this point in time, like, you know, moms and them wasn't kicking any money down. Like, look, boy, you way I was like, because I want this Sega Saturn, you know, because I'm a Sega dude, right?
Oh, that's what's up. I'm learning.
And so I was like, I want the Sega Saturn, and then my mom was like, you know, no. So yeah, the grandparents is like, no, we done with you on that one. And so I was like, man, you know, I'm working at a pizza joint, doing my thing. At this time, I'm working, just going to school, playing sports, stuff like that. So then I go and I had to make a decision, because you know I had my son in high school. Okay. So I mean, I got all these responsibilities, but I still want a console. I'm still trying to
shout out to you being promiscuous.
Oh my god!
Wow. And so anyway, so I said, so there was a choice. And then there was the PlayStation, and it was cheaper.
Boy.
And so I was like, man. And so shout out to my boy, rest in peace, to Freddie B. He got one. His family got him one. And so anyway, so got him a PlayStation, right? And so he was like, hey man, I think you might need to get this. And I said, man, I want it, man, but I don't know. So you know, long story short, I eventually get the PlayStation instead of the Saturn. And then he had like 5 games, let's
talk about that lineup.
And so then he had 5 games, and so he was like, "Hey man, I'll let you borrow 2." Okay. I said, "Word." I said, "Cool." So there was one game that was 99 football, which you know, and then the other game was the Mighty Tekken. Life was over then. Life was over. Now I understand when people may listen to me now, they may think of me as something different, but I tell you, after that moment, I became what I call a PlayStation stan. It was over. So Shinden, Legend of Legaia, Legend of Lagoon.
Wait,
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Let's go back to that second.
Let's go back to that second, though.
Yeah, let's go back to the second real quick.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So did you see it in an arcade?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And when you got home and you had the same exact thing, because
it blew my mind.
Your heart was already broken with Pac-Man. All right, so we back to Atari with the Pac-Man and the heart being broken because you saw the arcade and it wasn't what you got at home. You got bam, 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 bam. Now you see that Tekken in the arcade and it plays better in your house. How the hell did you feel,
bro? I lost my mind. You know what I'm saying? And then so like I would have my son right here next to me, and I would just be right there, and I'd be just playing just hours and hours and hours of Tekken and game day. And then when I started building up my library and doing all this stuff. Eventually, you know, because I mean, you still had to get Similac. You know what I'm saying?
I still gotta feed the kid. I gotta feed the kid.
Yeah, I gotta feed this kid. Damn, man. You know, so why are you hungry? But anyway,
is he a gamer?
Oh yeah. My son actually he did he was going and doing those tournaments for those. He was trying to get into MLG. Matter of fact, I have a picture of him on Facebook.
That's what's up.
For baby, right? Shout out.
Oh man, yeah. Thank you, appreciate it. My son and my daughter, man. You know, shout out to Xavier, shout out to Jasmine. You know, they do the things now. They're grown now, so But shout out to them. But yeah, no, he was in the Call of Duty space. He was doing those Call of Duty tournaments there for a little while, and then he changed up and while he was going to college, and then he changed up once they did the whole switch from PlayStation to, from Xbox to PlayStation. And then the crew that he had, there were some people that didn't have a PlayStation or they didn't want to play on PlayStation, so that kind of fizzled out. But he was actually, he was kind of inspiring me to start doing streaming, because he was doing things, his editing and everything was solid. I was like, yo, and so I was like, all right, I might try to get on and try to do this stuff, but he did his stuff. But shout out to him. He's responsible. He's a man now, so he's doing his thing. He's lost up. He's looking. He's about the women now, trying to find him. I guess the one.
Because the reason why I say that is because you playing tech and you playing your games, and he's sitting next to you. Yeah, and you planting that seed in him, and you was passing on that beautiful hobby, that hobby that you love. So that's a beautiful thing sitting there with your son.
No doubt. To this day, my son will come over to the house every once in a while, and he'll say, drop in that Tekken, because he wants to take it from me. He wants to take it from me. And then there was times that he would beat me, but overall he just couldn't. And then especially when I was in my prime.
I go.
Well, bro, this is serious.
Give me them characters.
Oh, okay. So we used to do is and the homies used to come through and stuff, and then they would bring people over because they were like, man, this is crazy. I remember
this is so Lord's right
bro,
now.
I went on a 100-game winning streak.
Oh my god.
With Kazuya, because I used to know Kazuya
with the purple suit, or this Tekken 2, or this the first one, the first one.
Tekken from 1 to 3, but I mean at that time it was Tekken 2 when I had that 100 streak, and then I had they had I was playing with Kazuya. I knew its 10-hit combo.
You knew the gut punch, and you knew the side step.
Yeah. And then also and you had two versions of the super move. You had the shorter version of the super move, and then you had the long version. I was so, bro. Let me tell you, I played Tekken so much at one time. Like I would play with the Koreans out there at the arcade.
Bro, this is us.
Bro, I like that's why when they say when people talk about fighters and then they kind of downgrade them like that, like there's no sense of competition like fighters.
Facts.
1-on-1.
Facts.
Your skill against my skill.
Let's get it.
And since I've gotten older, my skills, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Trizzy and Game Down Sights and all the guys when they come over and we play and Core and them and Sir X-Man and them. And we go in there and I play against these young boys, and I just don't have the finger speed like I used to. But and so like at Tekken 7, it's hard to beat them. Yeah. To beat Tempa and Trizzy. But when we go to Tekken Tag, when we go back, I still have it. I still have it. Still have it.
Yeah, when I fought hip hop, because hip hop definitely washed.
It's different now. I also think the 60 frames got something to do, but I gotta stop you for a second because
I'm sorry.
No, you good, brother. You good. No, what it is that like Tekken is so important to the Lords. Like Tekken forged us as men. Because it was like, oh, you better than me? You think you better? It's like, we gonna sit there. We used to do tournaments where no one could leave until the other person beat one person 10 times. I had a 10-fight differential. So it could go on literally all night, right?
It's my boy, right? It's my boy Ken, right? So it's me and Ken, gotta get the first one to get the 10. So I know this is my strategy. I know, Ken's skill is up there, right? But you have to incite him to bring it out. So I changed my strategy, right? My strategy normally is to talk heavy dog crap to you.
Throw you off your game.
That works for certain individuals. For Ken, he feeds off of it and he gives the energy back. Right. So what I did this time, they left because they went to the store to go get something to eat. They said, okay, this is going to take a while. We're going to go get something to eat. So I had Ken up in the room and he had got one win because I wasn't saying that. I said, good one. That was a good one. He's like, good one? we friends? So
Oh yeah, listen to that.
Mental games.
I said, yo, that was close one. That was a close one. Yo, so I stretched it out and I got to 10. Pause. Right? And I beat him. As soon as I beat him, I put the controller down and I said, I got your ass.
He started talking crazy.
I started talking so reckless. Yo, so they came back from the store. He had tears in his eyes. He's like, yo, Bakag, he loved me, though.
Yeah. He said, because when we come back from the store, right? So King told us, he said, yeah, I smoked you. I got you up out of there, right? So we like, oh, it was like that. So Ken was like, nah, it was all love. I don't know where this is coming from.
Oh man, bro.
So it's like he got betrayed. Like he thought it was like an exhibition. And King took it mad serious. Yo.
Man, you are absolutely right, bro. Let me tell you, the competition. That's for me. It's like when I could just when you step into a room full of wolves. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you don't know what's going to happen. And I mean, this is with Madden, NBA, NBA Live, NBA 2K. Fighting games especially. I remember one time I was in a room full of people. We were just playing Street Fighter Alpha, and Street Fighter Alpha. It was Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, like homie was sitting here and he was thrashing people. And one dude, he was kind of new, and he came in there and said something. The next thing you know, he popped off, and then it was a real fight. Bro. It was one of those things where the competition,
Listen, that same person that King was talking about. There was a time before. Cognito used to live. Cognito's family owns a brownstone, right? So Cognito used to live in an apartment with his mom when he was younger. He had a very small room, right before he took an apartment upstairs, and that's where we mostly hung out. So we were in Cognito's tiny room where it was like standing room only, right? So Lord Ken was standing in front of King, and I was standing next to Lord. Exactly.
He was standing behind me when he said it.
No, he was in front of you. Because I was in front of you as well.
I punch him in the face. So
oh my God.
Oh, it was one of those either, but I was next to Ken. So he said something. They got a little too reckless. King was not happy, and all you saw was the fist coming. And then I was in the middle of it, like, oh.
And I'm like, nah, so y'all can't be fighting in the crib over no game.
And the thing was that Cog's room was tiny, tiny. Like we were standing there watching people play games.
Yeah, so you see how big I am, right? So it was the best environment to grab a dude.
Oh, yeah. It was like a grabber.
It was like range one. It was range one.
It was range one. It got feisty. I will say this. Like I said, I know we go with the fight.
Yeah, sorry, sir.
No, it's good. But these are fun stories. But to KMEGA's point, though, like, at the end of the day, what I always respect about Tekken and the competitive fighting scene was the competition, putting it on the line. You know what I'm saying? People coming from all over. Like, we used to have people come from all over that say, yo, I play this, I'm Tekken, I'm nice with this character.
Right.
Or we used to treat it like the Kung Fu flicks. Remember when they used to go up to Bruce Lee and they used to tap their foot?
Yeah. Kung Fu theater?
That's how it was for us. Yep. So it's like, oh, you challenging me? No, you gotta put it on. You know what I'm saying? We gotta put it on right now. We gotta settle this. Like, I used to have people pull up, we go to the arcade, the bowling alley, settle it. Like, it was just a different time. Like, it wasn't this talking and trolling too much. It was more like, put your skill against my skill. Let's see who's the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we come from that. Everything with the Lords was competitive. It was fighting. It was Halo. It was Madden. It was NBA. It was whatever. Yeah. And everybody, the wrestling games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will say this. It definitely, I feel from our generation, it definitely built character a bit. You know what I'm saying? And you really, at the end of the day, you have respect. Because regardless of what win or lose, it's like, okay, you know what? I got to get in the dojo.
Yeah,
right. Better. You know what I'm saying? Because this move or this, like, I remember there was a time where King was terrorizing us with Eddie Gordo.
with
Like,
Eddie Gordo and Tiger.
Oh, and then
my
he used to put
Oh,
Tiger
my
on
goodness.
with the afro and
Right,
the belt,
right.
and he'd be beating you with the gold. And you gotta understand, King's mouth is reckless. So not only is he nice,
Oh no!
you don't
I
want to
mean,
lose.
this is a short time I know King. Bro, I already know, bro.
He was with me. He was with me.
Bro.
He was with me.
Yeah, son,
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was crazy, but I know it was a long segment, but I had to get that off because
No,
we cut from that same thing, brother. We cut from
Exactly.
that
That's the one thing that I will always miss is I love the online gaming scene. That's why I was late to join the online scene because of the couch co-op era. And I mean, I learned that from you know the from starting from the NES going on to the Sega to PlayStation, and that I do miss that era because there's every once in a while, you know, we're older, you know, not too many friends come over like they used to, but when they do, they still want to, you know, play the old stuff, and it's still fun. It gives you that nostalgia. But yeah, you're definitely right. It builds character. And then like when people start chirping, like when I'm doing fight night and people come in, oh man, I got my crew with y'all suck, y'all blah blah blah. Bro, get in here and get on these sticks or go away. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like this isn't like some kind of fake rap show. This is we gaming. So you know what I'm saying? I understand exactly where it's coming. But okay, so let me go ahead and finish. No. You finish. You man, I mean, I could talk about fighters all night. I mean,
I know.
All day, all night.
Talk with this. Okay.
But yeah, there was also, you know, of course, the Dreamcast, which was just legacy. I never really was a fan of the N64 because of the controller or the GameCube. I did buy it for my kids, but they played it. My son became a huge Smash Brothers fan and you know, Mario fan and stuff like that. But I myself kind of was evolving. You know, when you get to that point to where you get older and then you're working a lot, you're doing a whole bunch of other things, and you're kind of thinking, man, you know, gaming. I might be getting past game, right? And you know, and then next thing you know, the Dreamcast comes, and I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? You know,
get over here.
Yeah, all of that, you know, Soul Calibur, all these games, even though, you know, again, it brought that nostalgia from what was coming from the PlayStation 1, which is one of my favorite eras in gaming of all time.
Me too.
But you know, they came to the Dreamcast, and then so the last part here, which kind of evolves everything to where I'm at.
Let's get it.
You know, like I said, shout out to my boy Freddie B. He hit me up and he was telling me, you know, he was out there at college at Cookman. He was a running back out there, and he was saying, man, these people telling about some kind of weird console, man. I think I'm finna cop one. I'm like, what? And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? And so he says, man, I think I'm gonna cop one. And then I was like, all right, whatever. So then right after my other homeboy came from Iraq, he said, hey man, I know that you be playing these games and stuff like that. I got this new console. He says, I kind of want you to try it out. And at that point, once the Dreamcast kind of defaults, I got back in that phase again. Like, you know, I got my PlayStation 2, but I'm outgrowing it, and I'm, you know, I don't want to play the GameCube. I'm kind of moving on. Then he says, man, come and try to, you know, learn this game. I said, is it a new PlayStation or something? He says, no. He says, this thing is something else. So I go over there, and so I look, and first thing I see is the controller, and I'm laughing. Like, what the hell does this thing look like?
Why is it so big?
Why does this thing look like a dinner plate, man? What is this thing? And so, you know, we clowning and stuff. And so he says, man, I got only 2 games on this thing. He says, but, you know, let's go. He says, man, and it's got a hard drive. I said, where's the memory card? He says, got a hard drive. And I didn't, you know, I'm ignorant. I'm like, a hard drive? What is this? So he says, no, man, I'm telling you, man. And so then the first game that I play on it was Brute Force, but I kind of didn't know how to play it because of the way the controller was.
Yes.
Yeah. And then so you know, I was like, okay, this looks cool, but you know, and so he says, all right, well, this is other game, man. Come on, man, help me learn how to play it because it looks intriguing. And so we get it there, we're learning, and like we're trying to both learn the controls, and we're playing it, and then it takes about 3-4 hours before we really grasp it. And then some other homeboys come because we you know, they want to go to the club. This was Saturday night and Saturday evening or afternoon. And then we're all talking about how, man, we'll go to the club. I said, yeah, but we're trying to figure this out. So he says, man, it's got 4-player split screen.
Ooh, it's over.
And so I said, and so everybody's trying to learn how to play this thing. And so then at the point which we lose track of time, and so he said, yeah, man, we got to go here, you know, get ready so we go to the club. Sunday,
club is in the
like
bushes.
9:30 in the morning.
The next day.
The next day, we are all sitting there like, did we just play a video game all damn night long like we were kids? And that's what it was. It was the mighty Halo.
Yes.
And I hated shooters. I am not 007 was the only shooter that I really enjoyed. And Halo changed everything. That nostalgia as a kid back when I was, playing with my Sega and all that. And I was on the Genesis and all of that came back. It rushed. And I've never left again. And even though I've supported PlayStation from day one, and I still continue to support PlayStation. PlayStation still has its moments where it gets me hype and things like that, but it's not like what it does, what Xbox is giving me. And it's just, and that's why I kind of look at it from the perspective of like, I understand when PlayStation fans, they're happy about this and stuff, but when they degrade the mighty Halo, it's kind of like, bro, you just don't understand, man. It's just like for any other game that you've played out there that gives you, like, if it's God of War, if it's something before that, if it's, Siphon Filter, whatever, if it gives you that feeling, then it's got you. And that's where Xbox got me. And then I've been riding with Xbox ever since. It's my primary console of choice.
No, bro, I want to, like I said, before we move on, I got to expound on it because, people forget how transformative Halo was. King could tell you. We had people in the projects setting up stations outside.
LAN parties.
Parties outside.
Yes.
Yo, Mega.
Yes.
I had the local drug dealers sitting on the corner. Yeah. They made a deal with the store to use their cables to play Halo at the store. 4 screens, dudes standing out there. They like, yeah, man, hold on, man. They like cop and go, man, get out of here. and they there playing Halo. And then that changed from, we not selling drugs no more.
Facts.
I got to get a job and I got to do this other stuff because you couldn't bring that around where we were.
Right.
So if you wanted to hang out with us, we respect what you do. Yeah. That's your business. But if you want to hang with us, you got to stop.
You got to stop.
You got to stop because the block where Cog lived, it was brownstones, some tenements around the corner. But the family environment, it took me from out of every time I turn around, I got to fear for my life and all that other stuff. To when I get to the block, when I hit that block, when I hit Clay, I was safe. I felt safe. So we didn't want to bring any of that negativity from outside to our safe haven. So you had to wash your hands of that if you wanted to hang out with us. And so many dudes changed their life
because of that.
Because of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't realize why it's like we always gonna ride for gaming regardless because no one can tell me how that did not positively influence my circle. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And kept us from doing other things that we shouldn't have been doing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like I said, the competition, the camaraderie, the bringing people together, the fun, the hour, like you said, hours upon hours of fun in the crib. You look up, you cannot believe that many. It was so crazy. Like, I don't know if y'all remember Nobody Beats the Wiz and all that. Like, we used to go to the Wiz to go get TVs so everybody could have their own screen for the LAN party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had to get the Linksys cable. We learned about cabling. We learned about Ethernet cables. We learned on the fly. We must continue this. This is the greatest, whether it be Blood Gulch, Hang 'em High, 4 players, you know what I'm saying? Getting it on.
Yeah.
And the rivalry and the fun, it was just nonstop. And then that evolved. So again, for the people, like you said, I understand why Xbox is important to you because, and then for us, you get older now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, they get married, they live in here, they move. But now Xbox Live comes around.
Boy.
And now it's like, yo, it's like we still in the crib, but we talking to each other from each other's out, and it brings everybody back together again. So it was
I ain't got to get dressed now. Now I can just sit there in my boxes.
Right.
Facts.
I want to make another point too, if I can. It's basically for me is the one, and another special moment for me was Halo, it changed everything. So with I'm with this and this. So I go to my very first game. I go to like GameStop to go pick up very first pre-order game.
Yes, sir.
And that was Halo 2. And so my son was into it. And of course, like you was talking about the LAN parties, I took my son to one of those LAN parties. Shout out to Frosty. You know, I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, you know, back, you know, OKC. His pops had a gaming store. And so at night after the gaming store was over, then that's where we used to have the Halo. We used to call it Halo nights, and we would get and do the LAN parties there. Then that's where we learned it. But anyway, I took him there, kind of messed him up, like, whoa, what is this? And so then he got into Halo, and then so I told him, I said, you know what, you know, you want to be a part of this? I want to sit there and I'm going to call in a school for you if you want to come in here and stand in line. But I didn't think that the line was going to be that long, and for Halo 2. And you know what I'm saying, I was just thinking it was going to be just like, you know, 5-10 minutes or so. But that line, it was one of the biggest lines that I've ever seen next to Grand Theft Auto 5. Those were the two biggest lines that I ever seen out there at Crossroads Mall. I mean, not Crossroads Mall, but Heritage Mall. And get up there, that line was almost all the way halfway around the damn mall itself. And we stayed there. We didn't get the game until like 3 hours. And then, you know, that moment with me and my son, it was cherished. You know, I cherished it. It was just something that bond.
Facts.
And, you know, of course my daughter, she didn't care. But you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But my son did that, and that what got him into the competition, because he would be there and watch me and the homies be there and play, and he would and all that stuff. So that's, I think for me, that's what it's all about. I mean, just for the gaming situation overall is why I'm so down for Xbox and want them to succeed and want them to do everything that they need to do to get back to that 360 OG era, you know, Xbox era, because of the fact that the impact that it had on me and my family.
Preach it, brother. Yeah, listen, man. We can talk for hours. We share a lot of game history, brother. Like, it is very eerie to see, and even in the chat, they preach you, they big you up. You know, everyone's story seems to be very similar. You know, coming up, and it's just amazing just to see what games. Let's get these super chats solved, and then we got to move on a little bit.
Give me a second.
So much, so much. I know everybody chat was lit. I see them shout out Renegade. Renegade, you know about that?
First of all, we got Wilbo Gaggins with the $5.
God, I love that name.
Good day, gentlemen. My Series X arrived last week. Incredibly happy, saving for a worthy TV, no doubt, my brother.
No doubt.
Enjoy that. Then we got Smitty Smith with the $2 super chat. Anybody remember Bad Dudes? As a matter of fact, in that same store that Cog was talking about, we had Russian Attack. They had bad dudes.
Yes.
They're bad dudes, you know.
White dudes with the sweatpants beating up
With
bitches.
black t-shirts.
With black t-shirts, with the wife beaters. Yeah, shout out to them.
It hasn't aged very well. If you
no, it hasn't.
It has not aged well.
All those games, Renegade, all that stuff, they had the re-releases. A lot of them, I got a lot of them on the Switch, right? The hamster re-releases, and they arcade perfect. Yeah, a lot of those games didn't age very well.
Shout out to ATL with that Ikari Warriors shout. I see that.
Yeah.
I see the Ikari Warriors. I know what you know about that. What's up, Foz? What's good? What else? We caught up with the chat?
And we got Pixelbit G with the $2 super chat. Come on. Yaya Kung Fu and Popeye, where y'all at? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was my joint. Yaya Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. It's crazy.
Kung Fu.
Oh, you know about that? Yes. What? I thought he was Bruce Lee for real in that joint.
Oh, bro.
Continue. We
Then we got Stitch with the $5 super chat. It's time to get it to be messy, King David. Do you know that PlayStation 5 can't play PS1 or PS2 games?
Well, it is true.
I have a console for you, sir. It's called the Xbox Series S.
You can get the Series S, you know, for the low price of $299, and you can have all of that dreams come true again.
What else we got, so?
And we got Smitty Smith with the $5 super chat. Video games have literally saved my damn life. It kept me from doing drugs and getting arrested, so on and so forth. The Book of X. Yeah, that's definitely that's scripture.
Bro, talk about it.
That's scripture right there. That's scripture. We good?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good. We're caught up.
Yeah, man. So look, man, tremendous history, man. Mega Man, we could talk for hours. You know, about all the game of history is insane. It's insane, bro. But I gotta ask you about transitioning now, getting into YouTube, and of course, creating that GRG podcast. So like, how did that whole thing happen?
All right, so I'll be a lot more shorter than I was about the whole gaming history. The thing of it, it was crazy because I listened to BGST. I was listening to all these other guys and stuff. Angry Joe and all these other people, and that was towards the end of the generation. I didn't really know anything about YouTube or anything like that. And then I just so happened to listen to some guys from a thing called We Game Here. And so I was digging everything like that. And then there was one time that I first just got my X1, and then we was playing Titanfall and then something like that. And then I got a hit up, because I've hit people up in the chats and stuff like that. And then there was a person named Big Kahuna. And I was like, oh, what's up? I was like, oh, hey, Big Kahuna, and you get starstruck for a minute, you got Big Kahuna, it was Kids Moving there, it was Rise and Grind.
Let's go,
Rise
and Grind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shout out to them, man. And so
I ain't heard that name in a long time. Big
I know.
Kahuna.
Shout out to Rise and Grind, man.
He's an OG. That's an OG.
And Detroit Reaper. They were in there.
Yes.
And then so how when you listen to their podcast or you listen to all that other stuff, you trying to talk like a podcaster to them, right? You know how it goes, right?
Yes, sir.
And so then Big Kahuna was like, man, you know your stuff, man, because talking about history and stuff like that and with gaming. And then Kids Move just came out and he was like, hey man, why don't you try to do this stuff going on with the YouTube thing? And I was like, oh no, man, ain't nobody gonna listen to my country.
Kids Move was like how Kids Move was to you, Addict was to me. That's literally what happened. Continue.
Word, yeah. And so him and Kahuna was just trying to bait, and then me and Rise and Grind was kind of tight, because we would talk and stuff, and then he was like, man, he co-signed it.
That's what's up.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and try it. I was telling my ex-girlfriend at the time, that I was gonna do it. Of course, she thought it was stupid. And so,
that's the label of X. Continue.
Right. And so I was gonna do it. And so I did my very first video. And the very first comment, and I got a comment. And I was hyped, like, yo, and the comment was like, this video is garbage. You should never talk again. And so I was like,
oh my God.
Dang.
God.
I was like, whoa, rough.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it was just basically talking about my history or whatever, about, what I knew about gaming. And I think that's what the evolution of learning, of getting that thick skin.
Yes.
And so I was like, I'm going to make another video. I'm not going to let this deter me or whatever. But it didn't hurt my feelings. I was like, well, I mean, I put all this time into this, doing with this.
I don't read none of them stuff.
Bro, the very first comment, was like,
yeah, that it resonated. You never stop thinking about it, too.
Yeah,
making you want to get out the game for a minute.
Right. Like, hold on. So, so then after that, I started making more videos, and the next thing you know, Kids Moving them, they introduced me to King Dre and T-Tech.
Yes.
And then they was like, hey man, you want to be a part of We Game Here? So I was hyped, like, yeah, I'll be down for it. And so we did that. Didn't really ever talk about gaming. I was on a King Dre stuff talking about sports, which I enjoy. I love sports as well. So so we did a little bit of that, but never really talked about gaming. And so I was also watching somebody that I really, really, and I still admire, and that was B Shadows. I always, and that's kind of, if you see my earlier videos, I pattern my style kind of off of him with the music in the background, the quality of the video, try to come with intellectual delivery. And everything that what B Shadows was doing was what I was wanting to do for that's what I thought was the right way to do it. And so and then I hit him up, he hit me up, and so we was chopping it back and forth, but my first opportunity to get into the gaming scene, was from Anchorman V.
Anchorman V. He seems to be in the middle of a lot of things.
Right. Anchorman V was he gave me. I was nervous. Oh man, I was so nervous. Yeah. And then I started talking with B Shadows. We started doing stuff, and then I met Rain, G4, and just a whole bunch of other people. And then it just kind of evolved and moved up, and then that's when I started talking with I finally got to meet Zaire or Next Gen and crapping them, and then they eventually asked me to be a part of BGST. But before that, I need to go back. I need to give some more representation.
Do the history.
And so before that, I stepped away for a while because I got out. I told you it was my ex-girlfriend. So
right.
things went bad. I had to step away, bro. I had to get away. You know, I was like, no, I'm out. I'm done. So I had to start over. So I was gone for about a year or so, and then my boy Infrared Beam, we would talk, and so he was telling me like, hey man, you know, you need to get back into it. I was like, oh man, no. He's like, no, get back into it. He says, I know it's homeboy. You know what I'm saying? He says, man, I think you need to talk to him. And so it was 100. And so so and so then I met with 100. Yeah, 100 good people. And so I was talking with 100, and then he was like, hey man, hey man, on the real, man, I think I like what you're doing, man. I like what you're doing, man. And I was like, all right, bro. I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's straight West Coast, bro.
Straight West.
And so then, then I got down for intro media gaming, and then of course I started doing the BGST thing. I was on multiplayer with Next Gen and Porter Rock and all them, and that was wild. Then of course in between all of that, my boy Xbox, my boy Xbox 448.
I wonder where 448 came in.
Well, me and Xbox 448 met in We Game Here, but we didn't talk all that much.
Right.
And then in between all of that, like we started bonding more.
Gotcha.
And then he came to me about an idea about him doing a podcast. And so like I'm still in kind of transition of everything with intro media gaming, doing stuff with multiplayer, all this other different stuff. And so then next thing you know, we do the next podcast, and it was me, Fuski's Newark. You know what I'm saying? There was supposed to be another cat that was in there, but he only showed up for one episode, and then he had obligations.
Salute.
Yeah. Shout out to the one episode, dude. And then and then the Don. You know what I'm saying? So it was me, Bot, and the Don. We were like the three-headed monster, as 108 would say, about me, 100, and him. And then so that's just kind of that bond, and me and Bot's been that's my dude right there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the next podcast, man.
That's how I came across you. It was Next, and then I think one of my first guest appearance. Shout out to Deal. I think he invited me, and that's the first time I was podcasting with you. Was that I think Dealer had me and you on RDX one time.
Right.
Together.
Right.
I was like, oh, this KMEGA dude is cool. You know what I'm saying? But you continue.
Yeah. And so then we just kind of meshed up into that, and then of course there was a falling out between me and Next Gen, not getting into that crazy stuff. But you know what I'm saying? So I stepped away from multiplayer, stepped away from BGST. And then, I started telling Bot that I was thinking about starting my own podcast. Right. And this, of course there was support. And so, and big shout out to these people too for the help for me helping me with the Discord, J Centuries, of course, Xbot, Don, them helping me out with the helping me out with just trying to get everything together for the podcast, because I wanted to do gameplay and kind of be a bridge off.
I'll be doing that gameplay. That's our staple.
Yeah, that's our staple. So and just doing all that, and then and just the whole thing. And then the one thing about when we did with GRG, the first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to have female representation, but I wanted to have female of color representation. Respect it. So the first person I went to was Delilah HD.
HD.
I sit there and I hit up her video. I seen her video was talking about Scalebound, and I said, and I hit her up and I said, hey, 100, Delilah? He said, hey man, yeah, I know, we talk all the time, man.
Shout out to 100 the plug.
And so then I hit up Delilah and I asked her about it. Of course, she was real reserved, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like, I don't know if people want to hear me. I said, no, man, you just way too talented. You got all the chops, all the skills to do this. And I need somebody like you that's grounded, that can help me, because I know I could be a damn nut. So it's like, so we did. So I hit up her. All Day was also a part of something. I met All Day through B Shadows. Okay. Yeah. And so he was down for being a part of it. And then he introduced me to Fonzarelli.
Fonzarelli, you in the building right now too. Right? Everybody you talking about in the building.
Right. And then also Lady Infamous was part of intro media gaming with us. And so I was like, look, that's that second person. She's gamer. She's about it. She's a little different, but she's cool with her delivery and everything like that. And so I promised, I said, we're gonna make this work. I said, look, the very beginning of, if you see the very first episodes of GRG was a hot mess. The internet was going bad. Show would end in the beginning. It was awful. It was awful. I was like, God, there's people still coming back. I said, I'm done. But we just evolved, and then I cannot be more happier for looking at what All Day is doing out there with Luca, for what Fonzarelli is doing out there with RDX, with the women at GWG, what they're doing out there, for Triple Cup Chuck, for what he's doing, for what Hunt's doing, for what 108 is doing. I mean, it's like for everybody that's been a part of Kaleidoscope that was there for a short time at GRG, for everybody who's been a part of that, I still look at them as part of a family. Even though I don't communicate with everybody like I used to. Yeah. The thing of it is that I couldn't have that without them.
Factual.
Yep. And that's the thing of it is there's always going to be love there. And respect, and it's always going to be love and salute for everybody who's given me an opportunity. That's even going to Next Gen. That's going to Anchorman V, B Shadows, all these guys. Without and we game here, all of y'all, because it gave me the inspiration to do this. And now, since I'm married, and the woman that I'm with now, she is the utmost just like, she's like, don't you got to do this Iron Lords podcast thing? I'm like, oh, yeah.
She the one that hit you.
Yeah.
I was like, he about to miss out. I'm getting worried. I was like, did he remember the time zone? I was like,
no, because I had to check. Hey, I had to check the time zone before I went to sleep. I was like, wait a minute. He said East Coast. Oh snap! I got to leave 4 hours. Lord have mercy. But shout out to everybody out there, man. The support, the love, for everybody who's had me on their podcast, as King Thrash, and what I'm saying. I was just on Big Cloud's Gaming's podcast just Friday night, and so what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's just one of those things, man. You just look at it, and I hope that I always wanted to do what you guys do. You know what I'm saying? It's bridge the gap, bring this. That's why when I told you, and I think I told King David, I was like, look, I think this is how it's supposed to be. Factual. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have the networking, everything that what you guys do is proper, it's legit. And I can't be more proud of you guys for what the hell that y'all do.
When you came over to the house, to the compound.
Oh Lord Jesus. Oh man. Shout out to my boy Bloody.
We ain't gonna go into that. We're gonna leave that in the bushes. But you know what it is? It's like when we go out there, we're not thinking, for ourselves. First of all, we game plan for whatever convention we're going to, but we also try to get a place that's accommodating enough for local YouTubers and stuff like that, people that we converse with. So when they come over, we can politic there and plan there as a unit. Because if we collab with you, we talk with you, we really vibe with you, our door's open. Let's build. Let's see where we can go with this. Let's see how far we can take this. Let's see what can change. How can we put our imprint on this YouTube, on our hobby, on our love, our selected medium? So how can we do it? So I truly appreciate the fact that you came all the way out to Calabasas, because
he was one of the few.
100 still talks about that, man, to this day. Hey, man, that was a long ass way, man.
Salute to KMEGA, be one of the few to actually come that far to see us.
Bro. And then one more thing I do want to say this before you. I got to give a shout out to the rest of the crew. You know what I'm saying? If people out here don't know about them, PK Live, Six Slayer, of course, the Bloody Knuckles, and Operations Op. I know that those guys they don't come in as much as they do, because they got other priorities and stuff like that. But if you guys want to get people like my boy PK and Six Layer are walking like computers. Like those dudes are so in tune.
His audio video is crazy because
bro. Well, crazy. And just like 108. 108 is just voice first and yo, son, but he's intelligent as hell. He's like, yo, there's no TV. There's no TV.
That's him.
Yo. Shout out to
that's the homie. Salute. Now, tremendous.
But much love to everybody from GRG.
Much love.
Past and present.
Chad give you love. Delilah giving you love. Fonz actually shouted you out. Yeah, they was. He was like, yo, thank you.
connect with.
Yeah, he said, respect KMEGA. Got my start with gaming podcast on GRG with you. Thank you, giving him a voice on the show. So that was what you call it. Let's get the super chat real quick before we move on.
Somebody got like a TV in the back.
Somebody has something on, yeah.
Somebody TV lit. I don't know if it's attic, but yeah. Sorry, what did you chat?
Yeah, we got 108 with the $10 super chat. Halo is king. I was playing online 4-player split screen using my with a program called Xbox Connect with about 20 dudes at the crib. Shout out to Sick and Mini Me. Yeah, I remember Excellent Kai when we started using Excellent Kai on the Xbox.
Yeah, Attic, reach your mic, bro. I think that's Attic.
It gotta be.
It's gotta be. But continue.
Then we got Away Dragons again. $2 super chat. My boy 100 is the realest. Shout out to Race Tracing. Race Tracing. And so we just got a couple added right now. We got Simon Brandy with the £5 super chat. The PS5 power narrative reminds me of 2013. I hope Xbox fixed the situation before it's too late. Do you guys think Digital Foundry are bad for gaming? Wow.
No, I think Digital Foundry is fantastic for gaming. It forces people to keep themselves on their toes and put the best product out. But again, and I know y'all gonna say, "Yo, King, man, you apologist, man. You sidestepping for Xbox, man." The SDKs, bro. I can't stress it enough. You got old technology with good SDKs, or you got new technology with bad SDKs. What do you want? You can be hot in the beginning, but brother, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So when your boy fizzle out in the middle and he's looking for some water, and my other dude keep running past him doing the other stuff, you'll figure it out. So right about now, this is very early on. They only been out for like a month. Bro, calm down.
So good, man. Are we all caught up, sir?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So look, like I said, tremendous history, brother. Love to hear these stories. Love to see how everyone's connected in gaming. It's like a lot of crossover, so that's really cool. But I gotta ask you the question we ask all the guests in the realm before we get up into this joint. I need that top 5 video games or franchises of all time from KMEGA. Let's go.
All right. Shout out to Livewire too. How could I forget the King of the Dolphins, man?
Yes,
I can't do that. All right. Top 5. Woo. Okay, so
games or franchises, your personal.
All right, so let's go with games. Okay, so this is no particular order.
Okay.
Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is up there, of course. Tekken.
Tekken makes a list.
You know what I'm saying? There's definitely The Witcher. I would the whole franchise,
Yes.
For me, but but The Witcher is definitely up there. Mass Effect.
Woo, one more.
Man, one more. And there's just so many, golly. I'm probably gonna have to say, and this is probably gonna shock people. I'm probably gonna have to say, dang, well, hold on. Dang it, no, because I cannot say Halo is definitely.
Yeah, people in the chat looking at you, they like, yo, where Halo?
Yeah, Halo's there. Like I gotta have Halo there because I was gonna say I was gonna say Final Fantasy, but it's got to be Halo. Halo's got to be in the top 5.
And favorite console of all time, any generation?
PlayStation 1.
Me and you PS1
hands down.
Me and you on PS1. Is that Tekken and that Ridge Race and the arcade perfect for the first time to Battle to Shinden?
Wild Arms, all that, bro.
Yes. Yo, I love PlayStation 1. I know everybody loves 2. Me and you share that. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah.
But that's dope, man. Tremendous history, man. Wow. Crazy. We can talk back. This could be a whole separate show the way we just go.
Bro. Yeah.
Jesus, we gotta move on, man. Let's get these poll results on in. The people have spoken. With the latest interview by Phil Spencer discussing his disdain for console tribalism, how do you feel in regards to its place in gaming? The winner of the 3-way ILP poll at 63% of the vote is competition is good except for personal attacks. Coming in at second place at 19% of the vote was I don't care. I'm not for all this losing kumbaya talk. And coming in at last place at 60% of the vote was it's okay to have pride in your preferred platform group. Shout out to all the Lords who participated. Lord Saw, what do you think about that, sir?
I mean, yeah, of course. Like, listen, man, you can love what you want to love. I'm not knocking anybody for loving what they want to love. Now, when it bothers you that somebody else loves something else, you need Jesus in your life. You need something in your life, like
Something in your life, bro.
for real. Like I'm too damn old to be having strong opinions about video games.
Beefing with somebody, you about to go to blows.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm gonna knock him out. He like that PlayStation.
It's on sight when I see you with that.
Man, that dual sense, you gonna feel these sense.
Feel that sense. Yo, dudes be doing too much. But look, man. So look, we got to get into it, man. A lot of topics, but we got to move on. So, Lord Soft, this is you, man. This one shocked the nation. Lots going on in BioWare, man. What is going on?
So it was announced earlier this week that general manager of BioWare, Casey Hudson, after having returned to BioWare just 3 years ago, has decided to walk away from the studio once again. In addition to executive producer MarkDarrah, who's also leaving at the same time. So a lot of people's reactions to this were, "Oh my God, BioWare's done." Like a lot of reactions, and I don't know if that's hyperbolic. I don't know if it's fair to think that way. I love to hear what you guys have to say about it. For me personally, it doesn't sound good. It just doesn't sound good. The way the way they said things about walking away to let the next generation take over. They sort of made it seem like they left, like they came in to sort of right the ship, and then they're letting them to go about their business now, and they think everything is on the right track. I don't necessarily believe that. So, man, it's crazy. It's really crazy to see this happening. I really do feel that there is a big disconnect between what creatively the people in charge of that studio want to do and what they're being sort of pushed to do. And in addition to whatever creative differences there are about where these franchises need to go, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, I just think they're just not on the same page in any way, shape, or form. And I think the end products hopefully don't show it, but I don't have a lot of faith.
Yeah, so real quick, we'll frame it before we get the rest of the lawns in it. So pretty much EA announced Casey Hudson, who was general manager, like I said, who left before, and Mike Darrah came back, and then Mike Darrah, who's the executive producer of Dragon Age. So they're both departing. All ongoing projects, including Anthem Next, Dragon Age, and Mass Effect's legendary remasters will continue. They said Samantha Ryan will continue to oversee the studio, while Christian Daly, who joined BioWare from Blizzard, will now be leading Dragon Age product. And then Matthew Goldman will remain as creative director. And the Mass Effect collection will continue to be led by Mike Gamble. And then looks like Laura Miley she's the chief studio officer at studios officer at Electronic Arts, pretty much said she wants to thank Casey and Mark for everything they've done for the BioWare community, particularly our players. They will always be an essential part of the studio's history. We appreciate their contributions, and we look forward to seeing what they will do next. So it looks like a simultaneous departure from both of them. You know what I'm saying? Which has got so King wants to go for it. I'm gonna get Mega, but let me get King for whatever reason is bubbling. You know what I'm saying? So King, what do you have to say, sir?
It's doom and gloom. It's doom and gloom. Run for the hills.
Run for the hills.
I remember when y'all was like, Casey Hudson's back. He's going to fix the world. Casey Hudson got over there and was like, boy. And then it's like, yo, it's literally like he said, nah, I'm going to step aside and let the next generation do this because they're out of control.
You know what I think that this... I think they're going to make their own studio. Like usually when you leave with management like that, it's for a big reason. They left together. They didn't leave individually.
Right.
Yeah, because they sat in the break room together and looked at each other and was like, "Why are we doing this over here?" They sat
I wouldn't be surprised.
Eating a sandwich, and it was like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they showed up at another publisher or something with their own studio in 6 months.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with a real game. With real game, like with a real.
What happens if they show up at Microsoft?
What about that? Didn't damn, I wish Slow was here. He known. Was it solved? What is his name? Remember that one of the integral guys on Mass Effect? I believe his name was Drew Karpyshyn.
He was at Microsoft for a while.
They got their own studio now, and there's a lot of those ex-BioWare guys from the gen. I mean, from what we like, and they formed their own. It'd be interesting to see what's going on there as well. But
you're never going to get a Mass Effect or a Dragon Age how it used to be with the influence of EA, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem. I believe that they was like, all right, we doing Dragon Age. It's like, please put loot boxes. And it's like, what? I want when you power up to put a loot box. So put a loot box in there. And it's like, yo, I don't see how loot boxes work over here. And he was like, but we must have loot boxes.
This is how it is. EA is like, he's like, well, we want loot boxes in it. This isn't a loot box type of game. Make it one. Like, it kind of reminds me of that thing off Friday where Smokey's like, his mom wants some good cigarettes. He's like, it's $1. Fix it.
That's right.
Let's get KMEGA in, man. Obviously, this is big news in the industry. BioWare storied history. We know about the franchises. Like, what is your feeling when you heard about these departures?
Man, it's not a good look. You know, I said the same thing about with all these developers that left Naughty Dog, and it's looking like it's the same thing that's happened over here with BioWare. And even though they got Christian Daly that came over from Blizzard to come and help and take over, it's still all about chemistry.
Yes.
All these people have been there for all the thing for all this time. I mean, I believe one of the gentlemen has been there since the late 90s sometime. So it's one of those things where, you know, they've came to this point to where, you know, like King David said, EA is trying to go another direction with their single player experiences, and now I think they still want to kind of keep the old traditional style, but I think you know, there's just conflict, and when you have conflict, it's crazy. And wasn't there something going on where once the other guy left, that there was people that were speaking out and saying that he was a terrible manager and all that? So and you know, that's never good. That's never good. That's never good. So you know,
I got to jump in on KMEGA. I mean, I'll give it right back to you, K. Is that you know, MarkDarrah, he put out his statement, right? And then what was it? I don't know if you guys played Dragon's Age. There was a character that was called Cullen, and the voice actor who played Cullen had some things to say on your man's way out. And I believe I forgot the guy's name, but I have the quote, and he was just pretty much saying, like, so, you know, obviously he said it's been sad. MarkDarrah's like, it's sad for him, you know, moving on, yada, yada, yada. And then your man is like, oh, and this is a relief for many others. He was like, I've worked with you for over 10 years as the voice of Cullen on Dragon Age and have never worked with a more disloyal, duplicitous corporate fake. He said your enforced resignation is a victory for BioWare, its employees, and particularly the fans.
Bro,
you know what that probably is, don't you?
What you think?
That dude was completely drinking the EA juice, and he wasn't fighting them over it at all. Because if you notice it, like other studios, like the like Respawn, like he's like, nah, that ain't happening. And he fought them back over it.
Right. Well,
and I think a lot of these other studios are so, like, they've been with EA so long, and they're so used to the EA that they don't have no fight back. They're like, okay, we'll do it. All right, we'll do that. All right, we'll do this. Like,
all I know is, like I said, this actor made these comments. Now Darrah did shoot back. You know what I'm saying? He did definitely shoot back. Basically, something like, okay, word, like, coming from you, that's kind of disrespectful, whatever. But to the most part, the fan base was defending Darrah. Like
it wasn't like that when you needed to borrow $30 though.
right. Facts.
I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I want to give it back to KMEGA because I had to mention that. That was something that really caught my eye. Like, this guy's kind of resigning. You would think it's, you know, wish you the best, that kind of thing, and he did not feel that way. But back to you, King. Like, what's your feeling?
Well, I mean, it's just kind of like what King is saying is that dude is over here now. He's no longer, you know, handing out the paychecks. Now he wants to talk because before then he wasn't. I mean, he felt like that dude was that much. You know, listen, if you got that type of problem with somebody, you would think, you know, man to man, you know, person to person, that you would address that, not out in public, but you would at least address that before. Like, look, man, I mean, I think that there's some issues internal, and I think we need to work out and patch it out. If you can't have that communication and then you try to throw salt afterwards, I don't know, that looks a little shaky to me.
Right.
But it also just kind of shows right now that that BioWare is in dysfunction.
Right.
And it does kind of lead down the path of what do we have now, since we have, you know, the people that were part of what Mass Effect, the great Mass Effect, and then when you had the new team work on Andromeda, which it didn't get received very well. I mean, what is going to happen in the future for BioWare? It's one of those things where we just got to have to wait and see. But I guarantee you, if they have another fail, and I know I cap hard. I mean, I was on here and I was talking about Anthem. You know, I got still love. Shout out to Anthem. Love you, Anthem. Shout out Anthem. You know what I'm saying? Shout
I
out.
wasn't pulling for Anthem.
Kicking Adequate. Very happy at
bro.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. After all the attacking that happened to me over that game, when that game flopped, I was happy. I was done. I was like, serves people right. Like I was to the point.
The game is solid. It just didn't have the content.
No, it's solidly in the ground, man. That's the only thing.
I'm with you, but I feel.
But that's the overall point, though. To me, is that like if they cannot afford another Anthem, they cannot afford another Andromeda. So whatever. So the next game that's coming from BioWare has to be right. And if let's just say that this 2.0 that they said that they were still working on, please, Lord, please, for Anthem. If that fails, then I think that you were going to see BioWare dissolve and maybe get the boot. You know what I'm saying? Take it out, man.
Solve your super chat, then I'll jump in.
Yeah, we have
a lot.
King One Supreme. We have King One Supreme $2 super chat. Phil needs to throw that bag at Casey. Then we got Lord Fonz, the grounded game with $2 super chat. Talk that talk, King. Then we have Shroom Kingdom with the $2 super chat. In my opinion, BioWare hasn't been BioWare since Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, that's a valid.
Yeah, that's true.
That's valid. For sure.
Yeah, that's valid.
Then we have Victor Alistine, $2 super chat. It'd be great if they showed up at 343. That's a mix,
343 could use that. They could use just about anything. At this point.
What else we got?
Then we have Slow Mo with the $5 super chat. Drew Carpenter is doing a sci-fi RPG with Archetype Entertainment.
Yes.
That's new. They are ex-BioWare devs. Wouldn't surprise me if Darrah joins Laid Loud at Yellow Brick Game.
That's the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we seen some of those guys, either Casey or those guys, go over to Archetype. I wouldn't be surprised.
If you go quickly to Carpenter's Wikipedia page, he says. Carpenter said that while his interest in video game development waned as BioWare has changed over the years, my passion has been rekindled. The feel in the studio reminds me of early days of BioWare. I can feel the magic in the air. And it goes to Mega's point, like regardless of what's going on over there, you know there's dysfunction over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then another thing too, didn't Phil work with one of the gentlemen there when he was working on Jade Empire?
I believe Casey work.
The bad part isn't even that they left. The bad part is they left twice.
Casey left twice. Yeah, that's a fact. And the bad part is also two people. Let me jump in if we ain't get the super chat yet. Do we get the super chat?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
You're missing Forte.
Get Forte.
Oh, Forte added one. That's right. Give me 1 second. We got Gaming Forte with the $5 super chat. RIP Mass Effect, RIP Dragon Age. Maybe if Xbox bought them back in 2007, BioWare would be in a better state. I now have no expectations for BioWare.
I don't know.
To be honest
with Phil, I don't know. I don't know where BioWare would.
And I think
Phil took over.
Yeah.
Fonz's point is right. Gets right to it. The grounded game with $2 super chat. BioWare will never be the same under EA.
Look, to be honest with you, like if it comes to that, if Microsoft would have bought them, like I don't want a domino effect of them buying BioWare back in 2007 didn't end up to them buying Obsidian. And I'm sorry, but I value Obsidian over BioWare. So.
Yeah. I mean, look,
that's absolutely true. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. This is weird. Like, I mean, first of all, it's Saturday because obviously these are two iconic figures from the studio. You know what I'm saying? Casey, we've known this. Obviously, he left. This is the second time he left one time and he came back, and then to leave again, then to leave with Mark at the same time. So now you've got Mass Effect's future, Dragon Age future, right? In question, and then Anthem, right, as what KMEGA's talking about. So it's like you've got these three franchises that now what is really going to go on. And I think Dizzy said it in chat, and I wanted to shout him out. Is that look? I know it's easy to blame EA because we know EA's track record. I'm not going to sit here and act like EA does not have their hand on sabotaging a lot of stuff.
I think it's both of them equally.
In Dizzy's defense, I remember, I don't know if it was I'm going to say
Angry
Jason
Joe.
Schreier or one of those guys that came out, and they had the leaks about what was going on as far as Anthem's development and BioWare, and a lot of this stuff was decisions that were made by BioWare as to why certain things didn't work out. So to me, it just never been a good marriage from the start. You know what I'm saying? Now,
what people need to realize too is like you can blame publishers, but there is such thing as called like these developers get really competitive with each other, and they see like Destiny taking off, like they're like, I could do that better,
right?
And then you have Anthem, so
yeah. I mean, this is such a dysfunctional thing. It's so much dysfunction, and it's like. Now you got this Christian Daily guy. Like, is Anthem 2.0 gonna still rock off the way it needs to rock off? Because they were gearing up for a big reboot. They're gearing up for a really, to try to get some.
But there's the thing, Cog. The big reboot is just making it into Destiny,
right?
And we've already shown that when you follow suit with Destiny, it doesn't work.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't like Destiny, but there could be only one.
Right.
I really don't think.
The thing is no one ever.
Yeah, I was wrong about Destiny. I was way wrong about that.
The thing is,
I'll take the L on that.
The thing is, though, Solve is none of these games truly try to follow Destiny. They just try to do the outlay and then do something different in the middle.
Right.
And it's just like none of them ever have PvP, which clearly we've seen that regardless if you don't like PvP or not, it is one of the factors that make Destiny what it is today. And none of them ever try it. By the time the Division tried it, it was too late.
But this is what I'm saying. That for everything that I've heard about this sort of reboot of Anthem is just basically doing what Destiny's done right. Which they should have done from the beginning, and maybe they would have had a fighting chance. But at the end of the day, I still don't think so. I really do think that Destiny is at the point, because you're always going to be jumping in at the beginning, and you're going to be making the mistakes that Destiny made 6 years ago. Now, people are not going to be accepting of that.
Right.
They're not. When you have Destiny already.
I said that before Anthem dropped.
I
told you, I said, we have a superior powerhouse in Destiny, and we have an not equal, but Division is a powerhouse within itself. You're either or, right? Where the hell does that game fit? It doesn't. Anthem doesn't fit. Financially, it makes losing sense.
We had an actual podcast that I think we had Eric's Gaming on.
That
they had we were talking about all three.
Survive. We was like, who's gonna survive this? Yeah, this was like right around the debut of Anthem. Division 2 was just announced. It was coming on strong. It's had Endgame. It was very serious, and we were like, yo, Destiny's in trouble. And I'll let you finish it. I'll say
because I don't agree with Solve. I don't think that there can only be one, but I do think that. The more this market gets saturated, there can only be at least 2 to 3 max.
Right.
And we're getting to the point because we talk about Anthem, we talk about the Division, we talk about Destiny, but there's still games like not Warzone. There's still games
Warframe,
like Warframe. There's still these highly anticipated games that just because we don't talk about them, they still hold a huge portion of this area.
Attic, there's a super chat waiting for you.
Which one is it?
A code.
Okay. I guess I'll get it.
Yes,
shout out to Optimus Code. Me and this dude go back to back all the time on Twitter. I've officially booted him from the Xbox community. But Merry Christmas, holiday deposit to the Iron Bank. Oh yeah, Addict is ambassading.
Embarrassing.
I thought it said embarrassing. Sony extremist and is banned from the Xbox community, never to return. Look, man, it's like that GIF where it's like it's hard hey, you can't get in. You can't kick me from the gate, Optimus Code. You got to get inside. You don't have no power here, so you don't have to turn around and walk off.
Salute
I got to say this to Cole. Shout out and much respect for putting the big red stamp on it to make sure that
you're gonna read this.
Yeah, I ain't never seen it red. I was like, whoa, what the I thought something was going on. I thought it was really cold red. I was like, get out here. Yeah. I was like, oh, hey.
Salute to go, man. It's
Coach been waiting to come at me, man. He's been waiting, man.
Look,
because I tagged him. I was like, you have been booted from the town of Green, the city of Green. You are no longer welcome.
Emerald City.
You hold no power here.
Listen, it's
Stupid.
to me, it's this situation, like I said, it's just so dysfunctional. I just,
Yeah.
it's one of them situations we gonna have to wait for that Jason Schreier book. Lord Jason gonna have the dirt, and we gonna see what happens. Because it's to me, it's one of two things. It's either they are old and don't know what they doing, right? And EA is kind of pushing them out the door, and some type of that way, or it's so dysfunctional that they like, yo, fam. Me and you could go over X, Y, and Z, and we could do this thing the way we want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look. Because when you resign, it's one thing to resign. But when you resign with your man at the same time, call me skeptical, but I find that very suspect that y'all, like, at the same time, y'all both had this epiphany, it's time to leave now. Like, that means y'all went out that board meeting, right? And was like, nah. That ain't it.
Yo,
Nah, we good.
It was break room talk. You know how you in the break room with your man, and he eating a sandwich, and you like, you feeling this?
Exactly.
Like, what you want to do?
Exactly. And I'm not buying, and I love both of them too, but I'm not buying this, the franchise is going to be in good hands. The direction is going to be, you wouldn't leave. If it was such a good hands, you would not be leaving, fam.
Right.
About this, Cog, and I got to keep the same energy. I don't respect the voice actor and being as disrespectful as he was. I mean, because I've never heard anything like that. But coming
he said
from
they was forced out the door.
Yeah, a corporate dude. Now, this is what I say, right? Talk that talk when they're there.
True.
Yeah.
True. Why he waited until that was a sucker move. You're right.
That
was a chump move.
That was a
No
sucker
doubt about
move.
it.
You don't hit nobody in the back of the head while they're walking out the door.
Facts.
I mean, first of all, you face a man. So I don't respect it. I don't respect former employees talking bad about companies. I don't respect people that talk about people that left the company. If you couldn't say it when it was there, shut up. Because then you was that dude that was smiling in his face.
You're right. You're right.
So that tells you the integrity of the dude. They left the company and they said nothing but nice things as they walked away. He could have said, yo, and I hate that voice actor dude, but he didn't. So that kind of bothered me there. But I think those two, like Attic said, might wind up either starting their own company or joining.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
I can guarantee you someone's about to give them the bag.
Yes.
Regardless if they're going together somewhere, they're making their own studio somewhere, someone's about to give them a bag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. The only way I feel that this studio survives under EA is to give the reins to Vince. Give the reins to Vince and let him figure it out.
I think they're starting that right now. I think that's where they're actually aiming, and that could be one of the things why maybe EA might be in the place to kind of push them out, because maybe there might be some turmoil within that space too, if you think about it. I don't know. EA itself overall seems like it's trying to reinsert itself to be something else than what we've known for EA being. And
you know what's crazy,
because for it to evolve.
It isn't Respawn. Didn't they take over another studio?
Right. That's what I was about to say. What's interesting?
Yeah, so what happens if they take over BioWare?
That would be interesting because let's be real. Remember, we commended Vince and Respawn since they've been there. They haven't been using. Let's be real. They've been beating to their own drum, even though they under the EA banner. They've been using their own engine. They ain't really been using Frostbite. They've been doing things how they want to do it, and they've been proven successful over there. And thus, Vince has been given more power. So what if again? I'm speculating. I don't know nothing. We're just speculating.
Well, no, I mean, just also add to this too is the situation with DICE.
Yes.
I mean, they moved that dude out, the lead guy that was on DICE, and listen, I'm a Battlefield fan more than I am a COD fan, and to me, it's very imperative and important for them to get this next Battlefield right, but when you go back and you look at who was in charge when they had the best Battlefield 3 and 4, that's when that person is gone and this other person is going to be taken over, are they going to fulfill the needs of what gamers want, especially if it's going to be a modern or whatever? I enjoy Battlefield 5, but it still isn't on the same level of what Battlefield 4 and 3 was. So it's there's a lot of moving cogs going around in EA right now.
I have a feeling that there's a lot more going with Vance than we see. Like, to be honest with you, I don't even think he's controlling Respawn anymore. I think that he's becoming that that savior for EA. Like, I really do, because ever since he showed up, things have changed a little bit over there.
Apex is moving.
I think he still has hands on with Respawn, but I don't think he's running that studio anymore.
I don't know.
Like I think he's
got a lot on
mainly
his plate, though. You're right. He's got a lot on his plate.
I think that, you know, if there's a better comparison, like with Xbox, I think he's becoming the Phil Spencer with EA. Like, I think he's starting to control every one of their studios, because it's crazy the amount of what's the word I'm looking for, influence that he's having over there
in a short time. For them to give him, was it that Dice Studio, I believe, already, you know, and again, I always looked at it, they beat to their own drum. Like, they did not follow the EA template since they signed up. They were doing their own thing, and they've been proved successful, and it seems like EA is leaving them alone to continue to do whatever. But we're going to see, man. This is crazy.
And, you know, one thing is he's a very outspoken person, too. He's not like that kind of person.
Listen, this is the dude who told Activision, you know what I'm saying? Like, he went at Activision, and he made them Modern Warfares that was super lit from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, y'all not going to take that credit from us. And then
I really do think...
Yeah,
I really do think that it was them dropping the bag completely when it came to putting out Battlefield at the same time as Titanfall. It allowed him that leverage. Yes. It allowed him that leverage to be like, you're not doing this to me.
Facts.
And finish what you're saying, Saul?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that allowed him that leverage to be where he is now, because he's like, you're not doing this to me again.
Right.
You're not.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is the same dude that when someone interviewed him, because when Titanfall 2 first like dropped and it flopped the way it did, they asked him directly, like, how much did EA help you? And he's like, because they said that they helped him a lot. He's like, whatever the F that means. Like, like he said that, and keep in mind, like, a year later they promoted him. So
Vince about to smoke. You're not gonna talk to him any old type of way. He don't care. Like, so that I got super respect. Vince, you gotta get on the show, by the way. But yeah, man. At the end of the day, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. We're gonna see how this takeover is going on. The rumor is Dragon Age is supposed to be shown at the Game Awards or something. I'm hearing rumblings. We got a Mass Effect trilogy still coming. You know what? And apparently a game is still in development there. We got Anthem 2.0. We're gonna see very quickly, you know, come 2021, what's going on with BioWare, and obviously what's going on with these two. But look, we gotta move on because we going stupid long, and we gotta get this joint going. So, listen, this is King. This is you. I believe there was a Forbes article, and some things were said about disappointments. You want to elaborate, sir?
Okay, so you gonna frame it?
Yeah,
or?
I'll frame it. I mean, pretty much. Forget the gentleman's name from Forbes. It wasn't Tassie. Shout out to Tassie. I ain't gonna say the gentleman's name, but it wasn't. At the end of the day, you know, pretty much the article's name is why Xbox Series X is 2020's biggest gaming disappointment. He starts to elaborate on some things about what he feels. You know, I guess, you know, kind of just being a better Xbox One X. And then he also did, in the same token, if you read the article, he did say, you know, he feels kind of that way about the PlayStation 5 as well. That's just a better version of the thing. And then, he goes on to, you know, talks about, I guess, game charging, controllers, refinements, and then certain features that at the time, you know, weren't working as intended, I guess, like quick resume and certain things, Series X features. So this was going around. This was a hot button topic this week. I see King, you grabbed it up. So what do you feel, man?
Okay, well, I like to say this, right? These consoles, both of these consoles going forward, aren't big drastic differences from the last consoles that they replaced. Right? So I want to take the pro versions of both consoles.
Right.
Now, if you look at the Xbox One X, that console was pretty much perfect. The only problems was the Jaguar cores and the Jaguar cores and the HD, the hard drive.
Right.
So now that you move to SSD, you upgrade the memory and you upgrade the GPUs, and you have the same user interface. See, this is where the huge problem comes in from anyone that purchases a Series X or Series S. They look at the X series, the Xbox One X, and the interface didn't change.
Right.
So, you know, when you get something new, like a television, you don't want to turn in a new television and it has the same interface as the last one.
From a UI perspective, okay.
You want to feel different. You want to be lied to, right? So, okay. What Microsoft did was they perfected the user interface because they saw the fiasco of going from the 360 to the one.
Mm-hmm.
And the problems that it didn't have certain things. What Microsoft wanted was, soon as you start, everything works.
Right.
You see the problem with the PlayStation 5 right now, they don't have all the same things and all the same functionalities as the PlayStation 4's user interface. People are having certain problems right now, and they're just, cutting their teeth on things. Microsoft is not having those problems. They refine the user interface. Now, onto the controllers.
Right.
The only thing that people are saying that is next gen, besides the look of the PlayStation 5, which is a drastic look. Somebody walks in your house, they sit there like, oh my God, what's that?
Distinct. Very
Yeah,
distinct.
it's very, very distinct. The white and the black, and it's like, wow, what's that? And the blue. And you go see the X, you probably won't even notice it in the corner. But that's purposeful, right? Now you go to the controllers. The Xbox One, controller was pretty much perfect. They evolved certain things on it to make it actually probably the best controller ever made right now, with the reducing of latency, the controller nubs, the grips, the small grips on the back. They really didn't have to change too much. My biggest barrier with the PlayStation, to be honest with you, was the controller. But the PlayStation 5 controller is so much better. It feels next gen. And then they give you little things like the rumbles that we already have adapted triggers. We already have that stuff, but they have that. So that's next gen. That's what they feel like is next gen. Neither one console, I can say, feels like that leap forward that you had when you went from Dreamcast, from Saturn, or you went from PlayStation 3 from PlayStation 2. We are used to giant leaps in technology, and we're not getting that now. But there are leaps. Speed. My biggest problem with the PlayStation 4 was the speed of the console. Like, damn it, man. Why do I always got to wait for this? And I move out of here, and I'm so used to the snappiness of the Xbox. Now I don't have that problem no more. It's more tolerable over there. The same thing with the Xbox. I go from one game to quick resume is ridiculous. It's the greatest thing ever. I play control. I stop my game where I'm at, and I just leave it, turn off my console. I go to the store, and I come back, and I can go upstairs, and it resumes upstairs to where I was at.
Even
You
if turn the
understand?
console
So
off, that's gonna put
it's different feelings. So I feel his concern. Plus, there's no software. The PlayStation has software as far as Demon Souls and a couple of other games that makes it look like it's taking advantage of next gen. These dudes don't have the televisions as well for these consoles. And that's the biggest problem in right now. Before, you can take your console and put it up to your TV and be like, wow, that's nice. No, brother, not now. Now you have to change your entertainment set to fit, Dolby Atmos. Do you have a surround sound with Dolby Atmos? Do you have a television that can do 120 hertz? You have certain things,
that VRR too,
right, to maximize this stuff. So what I'm saying here is, has this been a disappointment to you guys? Because I see the technical achievements both consoles have made, but to categorize it, and this is clickbait, because it seems like anytime you put Microsoft under a gun, everybody's gonna run to your post and they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, man, I'm down with that." It's like this. I see it by the media. The narrative is bash Xbox at every turn that they can possibly do. They do something wrong anywhere, it's bash Xbox. But both of them are doing the same thing. Why not title it is the PlayStation 5 the biggest disappointment?
Right. So your contention is that both consoles kind of should fall into this category as opposed to just the Xbox being labeled.
Right. Because it's buried in the lead. When you read the story.
Yeah, he does mention, when you do read, I will give you that. When you actually read his article, he actually references the PlayStation in the same light, yet we saw what the title was. But people go and read the article, they just read the title. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Let's get KMEGA, man. I don't know if you saw this article, what's your feeling on this whole thing? Are you disappointed, KMEGA?
Absolutely not. I think that this console is absolutely amazing. I'm looking at it from this perspective, because the thing of it is the game aspect. And this is where I totally disagree, and I think that people just kind of fall into this echo chamber of just, you hear so much negative stuff about Xbox this, Xbox that, and that people just kind of feed into it when they see an article or they read something, and it's in really what it's based upon to me is like when you talk about the launch, PlayStation's launch is decent. I mean, you go back and you think probably about the best launch that probably PlayStation ever had, and that was, I don't know, maybe the PlayStation 2 with Tekken Tag and the Bouncer and some other games on that top of that. But I mean, you got Demon's Souls, you got Spider-Man, those are good titles. But I mean, what people are talking about when they bring this up is saying like, oh, well, Xbox don't have any games to play on the on the Series X. Why do people even want to buy that console? If that was the case, then why did people buy a PlayStation 4? Because if we went by who would win the generation by game titles, then the Xbox One should have dominated. Right. Because they had, when you got Dead Rising 3 going against Resogun and Killer Instinct going against Killzone and Forza 5 going against, Injustice Gods Among Us, the Unlimited Edition. You see, and you had Rise, and you had, like that was a killer lineup. But the thing that overall messed up Xbox was the price and the messaging. So and when people buy new products, and this is so funny when people in the console space, they don't think about it's electronic. It's just no different than a television or a car or anything else. The only thing is about with consoles is that you're guaranteed to have some malfunctions. It's just, we're the beta testers. Right. So the thing to me is like we buy these consoles because we are the hardcore. We want the newest and the best things that we can get our hands on. That's what it's always been about. It's not about the games matter, but it's about the technology in these new boxes is why people go and gravitate to them. Right. And then for the casual market, they can only care about just wanting to be a part of it later on or find the cheaper version of it. But the hardcore always is going to buy the next new appliance or the next new, whatever. And there's no difference there. So I think when you say that it's a disappointment, I just have to laugh at that, because even if you look at the PlayStation fan that has what they have, even if they had a PlayStation 5 that was defective, I guarantee you that they're trying to get another PlayStation 5 because they're excited about that console. Just be excited about it. That the clickbait stuff has gotten really tired, in my opinion, and I think we just need to move on and evolve from that.
I feel you, brother.
The game of media, we got to move on.
I feel you, brother. So I'm going to get the super chat. Let's get at it.
All right, cool. We have Everborn Saga with the $5 super chat. Hey, LordCognito, this is not a drill. I'm at Costco in Yonkers, and they have the Sonos Arc in black on the floor. About to cancel that Best Buy.
I'm about to tell you to go cop me one, brother. I'm about to send you that bread. Oh, man. Damn.
I don't know. You see, this is what King does. This is what King does.
Oh, man, he got
now you got to look at your purchase sideways because of King.
Salute.
Then we have Shroom Kingdom with the $2 super chat. Casey has been playing musical chairs for a while now. That is true. But hopefully now he just figures out what he wants to do on his own. The Living Flame with the $5 super chat. I genuinely believe the revamp for Anthem is all it's going to get, and they'll focus on the stuff on Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Rest in peace, Anthem. Wish D2 was good.
Right.
All right. Then we have Victor Allison with $2 super chat. I think Anthem's third-person gameplay was solid. Then we have Jonathan B with the $10 super chat. I belong in the bushes. I have had my Series X since day one, and I just figured out that I needed to switch the refresh rate to 120 hertz 4K in the console settings. My life is forever changed. I know he was like, "What the hell?"
No doubt. We all
hold on a second. We got one more. Yeah, we got Brat with the $2 super chat. Salute Lords, put Demon Souls down to listen. Yeah, Demon Souls requires concentration, sir.
No doubt. So we'll caught up there?
We got one more. We got King Doobie. King Doobie with the $5 super chat. How you going to upgrade me? What's a higher than number one? That's how I feel about the Xbox UI, the Book of X. All right. Then we got Mods. I was just going to say $10 super chat.
I just watched this video this morning.
Shout out to Mods Poland in the building. Stand up. LordsGaming.net. Stand up.
No doubt. 60 FPS. Series X and PS5 delivers that now. I'm happy.
All cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so Attic, I know you got much time left, but I want to get your feeling on it. Is it a disappointment, sir?
Yes. I'm just gonna keep my opinions to
No,
myself.
say it. You're disappointed. You disappointed. Say it. Say it with your chest.
If Microsoft execs are listening, and anyone is listening, Sony execs are listening, they want to hear from you. They want to hear what is your disappointments. They don't need smoke blown in their butt. They don't need
tell
to
the truth. Shame the
dancing in the
devil.
mirror by themselves.
Look, man, it's disappointing. It is, but you know, it is what it is. I am moving forward from now on. I'm not going to continue to go over exactly
No, but
everything.
Tell him why. Tell him why you're disappointed. We want to hear.
Yeah, what are you disappointed with?
I'm not going into it. I'm not going into it, man. I gotta go. I gotta go to work. Man. I gotta go to work. I've been here 10 minutes too long, man. I gotta go to work.
You working on trying to get a job at Microsoft.
Well, I'll make it easy for you. Is it more the lack of the software stuff? Is it the features? Like just if you had to nail one thing, it's because of the first party software offering and the Halo not being there.
It's just, I personally feel like, you know, in terms of them claiming power,
right?
We just didn't see that, and it's like I get it. Like I understand that they're behind when it comes to the dev kits, but at the end of the day, that's not my problem.
Factual.
Like
I feel that.
If you knew you're going to be that far behind on these, on the dev kits and. These certain devs, you should have at least made sure that the people that were making the third parties for the games that's coming out when the console comes out should have been where it should have been. There's no reason why all these games and people says power matters. It's just power doesn't matter when it's not taken advantage of, and that's Microsoft's fault for not making sure it's taken advantage of, regardless if it's the lack of dev kits or it's not the lack of dev kits. It was Microsoft that gloated this power, and it was Microsoft that let the power get swept away in a matter of a couple games. Sure, this is probably going to change in the matter of 6 months to a year, but guess what? In 6 months to a year, you can lose an entire generation off.
And your feeling is, to your point, right? Again, gotta speak your mind, brother. Is no one wants to hear it, right? At the end of the day,
how long have we been hearing it?
Right, and I get it.
We heard it through the entire Xbox One X.
Are legit. And I get it, but I understand your sentiment. Your sentiment is like, look, I bought this. I don't really want to hear about kits, tools, and where's it at? And I feel you. So that is a.
It's just I see a lot of people in the community wanted them to buy timed exclusives. Now I'm not for that. I think you should have really evolved. Try to do as much as you can, like in a third party on Game Pass scenario, if you could have. Right. But once Halo got delayed, I don't know if there was enough time for that. Right. But it's just like, look, like. I would prefer them to not buy timed exclusives of investing into other studios to help build their portfolios. And then they don't want to make sequels to those portfolios. So it's just like, I would prefer them to take that money and run it through their ecosystem and make their games better than to spend $500 million on getting a timed exclusive for a couple games.
Right. Now, to counter, I just got to ask you about, you got to go. What about, when you say things like that, what about with the Bethesda announcement, the ZeniMax announcement? Does not give you confidence to say, look, they're investing in their own brand, that they are really trying to address that issue?
See, and that's what I was saying. I would want them to invest in their own portfolio than just going to Bethesda and be like, "Yo, we want that death loop. We saw that Sony has that. Okay. It's like, okay, you got anything else for us? Like, can we get some timed exclusives?" Right. They didn't do that. They said, "Yo, we want to buy the whole thing." Like, it's like, we tired of this losing time. It's like Kid Smooth's always said, like. If they make these Bethesda games multiplayer, it's a complete L, because your competition doesn't care that your consumers don't get these games. Your competition's going out and making sure that the Final Fantasy 7s are exclusive, making sure that the 16s are exclusive. They're making sure that the Death Loops and whatever that other game's exclusive. And if you're not doing that with your own games, because you bought these games,
you like, this better be locked down or else there's problems.
Yeah. I mean, when you seen Sony that just went ahead and they locked down Spider-Man on the event on a multi-plat game,
multi-plat,
bro.
Like, you ain't getting
that. I'm all in support of having gaming. We don't have to do the console war garbage, but Xbox do have to solidify and keep their games in house for their gamers.
I feel you.
When it comes to it, I enjoy the Series X. I
I
enjoy what I've played for it. Kids be making fun of me because I'm playing Star Renegades and Attack on Titan 2 on it. And I'm like I play games I want to play. And it's just like, look, like, you know, I came from the Xbox One S. I didn't come from an X.
Factual.
And it's just like these games run way better. And I'll never make that. I'll never make
and
that.
You got that 4K HDR now, so it's
I'll never
different.
make that error again because these games are they might be runnable on the other platform, but I got tired of people that didn't have these platforms making statements about these platforms.
Factual. You would always give us the Xbox One S perspective of the game.
And there was way more games that was like it was pretty much like, oh, can you press start and go to the main menu? Yeah, ship it, it's done. Make sure that's on the S.
Yo, I love the fact that I can't bother you no more.
Yeah, you can't call him a layman anymore.
The Xbox was simple. Let's just call it.
Talking about he has a smart TV. I can't talk to him talking about, oh, you have the lowest spec. Your boy is running around here 4K. And he's running around here with the highest spec Xbox.
Last thing for my boy. I know you got to go to work. I know he's late. What about Tuesday? Does the turnaround have your favorite game? It's about to get that optimization.
And that's cute and everything. It's a month too late. Like,
so you're not gonna play? All right, I'll be playing.
No, I'm gonna play.
It's too late. It's too late.
I'm saying from a perspective of
isn't there a song?
Can you let me talk? You asked me a question and you keep interrupting me. I'm saying the perspective of getting this expansion on your platform, making sure it's on Game Pass Ultimate. Oh yeah, the stuff that takes advantage of your next gen hardware. Yeah, that's next month. That's not this month. Like, no, it should have been on launch. It should have been there when the expansion was hot. Because guess what I had to do? I had to buy it on PC and play it for a month on PC.
Listen, I feel you. Like I said, you ain't saying nothing I don't agree with. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, now that it's coming, are you gonna put your fitness there and protest and not play it?
I never said I'm protesting. I just gave my opinion that it should have been there day one.
Absolutely, and we hear you. And we also
but out of everyone here, I am the one that leaves Destiny from time to time.
I get it. It's fine, brother. All I'm saying is everything you said is valid. Also, in reference to what's going on, we also have to acknowledge, and this is both consoles, not just Xbox. We also have to acknowledge that these systems are being launched in a unique scenario. We are in the midst of a pandemic.
Yeah, there's uniquely nothing to play on the Xbox.
Clearly. And you're upset. And I feel you. You know, I'm just saying I cannot not acknowledge that when that is something.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There ain't nothing to play on a PlayStation either. There's Demon Souls. That's all.
Right.
Listen,
but it's just like
beat it in 5 hours.
You already got people that was over there on PlayStation. Like Lucas said, I don't know what to play anymore on PlayStation because she know it. Like Rand even said this. I think it was Rand that said that, not Luca. Like this is amazing. These PlayStation, no, that's temporarily. There is nothing to play outside of Demon Souls. Guess what you're gonna play outside of Demon Souls? You're gonna play the same stuff we playing on Xbox.
You not feeling that Miles Morales, that Astrobot?
It was never
Astrobot looks good. I actually do want to try that when I get a PlayStation.
Okay.
That's like the only. I mean, the Spider-Man. I wasn't a fan of 2018. Miles seems like a better character than the 2018 Spider-Man I played. But it's just like it's not worth playing a whole console for a DLC.
He said he's not.
He's not.
Well, you don't play. You don't play him long enough.
Well, listen. I played that game very thoroughly, sir, and I will definitely say this: he's a simp. I'm not down for simp.
Hey, I was making fun of the fact. I was like, hey man, is that how you dudes in Brooklyn out there?
Oh damn!
I'm like, woo!
We can't do Brooklyn like that. What are we gonna
say? Bro, I said lemon. I said, hey, bro, y'all sound like that.
I wasn't about his voice.
I wasn't about his voice. I've always said that. The only New York non-thing was the voice for me.
Y'all trying to avoid that soft-ass tone. I'm like, what's going on, man?
And I'm talking about exactly what that man was. I'm sorry, that first Spider-Man, he plays like a man. He was doing man things, and he controlled it in a man space. I know this is a child, right? I'm not saying that I don't know as a child, but that simp life that you get beat up and doing all that stuff. I'm not gonna spoil it for a lot of you dudes who didn't get a PlayStation. I know it's a soft launch, and I know in February, but Listen, man, that's
Yeah, I
that.
could have dealt with it more if he was 13.
Right.
He wasn't 13. He's 17 years
I
old.
feel that.
And with the new character model, it looks like he's older than the Spider-Man character.
Yeah, right.
You do, yeah.
The same size as the. What are you trying to say here? Like,
Look, we got lots of. But so I'll get super chat. Then you and then me.
All right,
Or then
cool.
me.
Hold
This is
on
your
a
time.
second. We have the Living Flame with the $5 super
Sorry,
chat.
guys, I gotta go.
I had
Later,
See ya, Attic.
I'm already at the point where I can't eat. I just gotta go straight to it.
No pizza today. No pizza.
We have the Living Flame with the $5 super chat. To Addict's point, I feel lied to since Phil did say in December developers were already making games on Series X at the VGAs.
Mm-hmm.
Just fix it already. And then we have Gaming Forte with the $10 super chat. I can't be disappointed. I got what I wanted from a console. They delivered that expectation for me. If I want to play on the most powerful platform, I would play on PC. I have my friends and Destiny.
Yeah.
So,
we got more rolling.
yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, we got E. Murray. We got it for. So we got E. Murray with the $5 super chat. Make it make sense. When do you see full power from a game console in its first year? People sound dumb with COVID-19. Please stop. It's true.
That's true.
People tend to forget about that. Like, it's because again, social media makes it so everybody has a voice,
Right.
and sometimes dumb people talk a lot, and it's just like and it becomes the problem is that those narratives become truth to some people, and then here we are discussing it. We have Persian Knight with the $20 super chat. Xbox makes bold claims and then reels them back in. Look at the newest initiative rumors, keep expectations in check, etc., etc. I'm just tired of it. How is Microsoft going to go up against Ratchet and Horizon in 2021 with Halo, and when?
Valid points. I mean, I can understand the frustration. You know what I'm saying? I can understand.
Halo coming in the spring. Watch your tone, boy.
I know. Halo's going to be guaranteed to make its money. I don't know about all that.
About all that other Richet and Clink.
Yeah.
I don't know. Watch your mouth, boy.
That's
We got Wiseau Gamer with the $5 super chat. All I can say is that I got jumped on. Is that what my wife says? It's not normal for something skinny and white to outperforming something big and black. How does it?
Bro,
Wiseau Gamer,
bro.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Here we got AC. Let me get AC.
No, I can't say nothing about that. That
was extra on the ones there. AC with the $10 super chat. I feel the same way about the PS5 in regards to how little there is to play. But I sold my PS4 Pro 2 years ago, so it feels great to experience games like Ghost of Tsushima at 60 frames per second. Look, so get your joint off because I know, and then I'll
listen real quick. Even reading the entire article, by the end of the article, he says, "Look, it could be just me that I'm old and jaded, and that is exactly where I sit. Right, for me, the most stressful part and kind of exciting part of getting the new consoles is getting the new consoles, getting them in the house, and starting to play them.
Yes.
Once you've had them a week or two, you sort of fall into your routines with your consoles, like you do, what you always do, and it feels kind of like old hat. We will never we've gotten to the point where we just, as hardcore gamers, you're just going to see diminishing returns on certain things, right? The transitions aren't going to be as drastic, and you're not going to be as wowed. We will never again see a Super Mario 64 moment. We just won't. I don't think we ever will. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think that's the case. So the fact of the matter is, it's just exactly. But it's again, for the longest time, we've seen these incremental improvements, right? Now, that said, I don't find it to be disappointing because the console space from one day to the next, right? The moment you get your X in your house, the moment you get your PS5 in the house, all of a sudden, for the most part, 60 FPS is kind of the norm, right? Regardless of it. So that's a huge difference. That is a humongous difference. When you factor in all the other stuff, the VRR, when you factor in games that are Ori at 6K or something like that, down to like 100. And another thing that came in at the back end of all these narratives leading into launch is 120 FPS. Nobody was talking 120 FPS until maybe like 2 months before launch. You're like, really? This is a reality? Yeah. Is this a reality? And for the most part, the games that are doing it. Like, this is stuff that if you had your X or your PS4 Pro or whatever in your house, up until the day before you got your new console, the leap from one to the next is obvious, right?
Mhm.
So
Obvious, yep.
it's not disappointing in that regard. I just think for me, I am that sort of older, jaded dude that it's like it's after the initial excitement, a couple of days, I just fall right back into the norm.
Alex saw your
And
neck in the chat. He
and
said,
it's
"What was the first game you played on your Series X? Solve."
the first game I played on my Series X was Bright Memory while everything else installed.
Salute to the $8. Continue.
Exactly. So
So that looked like I was like, no.
yeah, it's just fast. You know what I mean? It ain't necessarily the prettiest. But that's it to me. So disappointment, yes. To say it that way, it is very clickbaity. It's just getting, just getting people there. When you read the full article, he acknowledges that, it's just not wowing me.
Right.
And I think what PlayStation has done in terms of their marketing is to create that illusion that you're going to be super wild, right? And when you have people talking about the controller, and I'm gonna be honest, beyond Astro, every implementation of the controller I've seen doesn't feel nearly as robust. Exactly. Like people are talking about the tension when you're swinging in Spider-Man. I don't really notice it.
Right.
It's not.
I don't notice those things. So it's really just Astro to me anyway. Right. And I heard Call of Duty doing some things as well. Beyond that, like they're better consoles and they're bringing PC type performance into the console space for the first time. That's what we should be excited about. Everything else, bushes.
Let's get to some chat, then I'll go, and then we got to move on.
Hold on a second.
I think it was Gerald Mack. I think we got there.
Having too much fun with KMEGA and his stories, man.
Yeah, we wild.
Man, I'm sorry that went too long.
No,
man. We have Gerald Mack with the $5.
Expounding on it, man. Come on.
With all the malfunctioning PS5, don't understand why that's not the biggest disappointment for 2020. Maybe I'm biased. Book of X. Oh yeah, maybe
a little bit.
You're not biased, and that's how you control a narrative. Because I noticed a couple of dudes will talk about, Xbox is running hot, but then when it's debunked, and then the PlayStation is running hotter, they don't come back behind it and say, nah, but the PlayStation is really running hot, or this. And I just saw one dude took too long. He took 2 weeks later to report that Call of Duty was breaking and bricking PlayStation 5s the same way they was breaking and bricking Xbox Series X. But you took 2 weeks to report that, but the first day that popped up on your timeline, you made sure that the X was out there. So I'm telling you, there's open season on Xbox, but soon, very soon, it's open season on this PlayStation. And I told you, this Xbox will win this generation. When Phil gets to smoking, no more jokes. You're taking your PlayStations to the store and you're getting an X. I already know what's happening. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they can go get Game Pass off of their TVs when they finally eventually get rid of their old TVs. I mean,
Exactly.
So,
you want to get slow-mo, sir?
Yeah, we got slow-mo with the $5 super chat. There comes a point in time where you get tired of being told to manage your expectations. Let's try something new. Meet my expectations. Is that too much?
I agree.
You know what's funny about that though? We've given Microsoft a lot of credit for being transparent, right? And coming out and saying things when Sony was quiet. Now the problem is that when you talk a lot and at the end of the day, what you said in the past doesn't match with what's happening, then people get mad, right? Where Sony didn't create any expectations, and they were quiet to the last month before launch. They were quiet, and then everything that they showed without saying a peep seems like, oh my god, right? Because they didn't build anything, and they just showed you, and then it's up to you to feel whether you're blown away or not, right? No. So I kind of want Microsoft to kind of just be quiet now, and
just do it. Just do what you said you're gonna do.
They cannot do that. You have the luxury as being the champion to shut up and let your talk. The challenger has to tell you, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to knock him out in the 8th round. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do this. The champion don't got to say anything because he is point proven. We're not going to act like God of War and Sony didn't build a hell of a resume. I respect Sony from the beginning. I stood out on those lines. I know what PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 did. Not a fan of the PlayStation 4, but they got games on the PlayStation 4 that was outstanding.
Right.
These don't have to say a damn word. It's up to Microsoft to talk and walk that walk. So
but the problem, okay, but that's fantastic. But what happens to the person that walks the walk and talks the talk and then doesn't walk the walk? Like,
you know what?
And I believe that. I believe this generation is going to be different. I really do. But let's say it takes them a year and a half to 2 years.
It's not a year and a half.
No, you got to show and prove right when you drop Halo.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason why they did. Well, everybody thinks it's the delay. You cannot come and do all the talking, and then next thing you know, it's
Halo's the 7.
Let's just wait till 2022 when you really get to sit down. That will be the point to where I think even people like me will start second guessing.
And even that's unfair, right? Because like King said, it's a marathon, right? But they don't have the luxury of being able to do that. Sony could do that for 2 years, and the faithful will be there ready for when the bangers come.
Right.
Microsoft doesn't have that luxury. They just don't.
No.
Listen,
not this run. Not this time. No.
When that Halo drop, it better be all that in a bag of chips.
Oh, factual.
Hashtag save lock, man. I'm telling you, Halo 5 look better than what y'all showed out there.
That's a factual. We can't say that 5 didn't.
You know what I'm saying? I got a small rant. I got to say this. Please. Halo diehard fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Halo diehard fan, but the Bungie fans, stop wishing for Bungie to come back and do 343's job. Let 343 do their job. We seen what Cory Balrog did to Davey Jaffe's God of War. And the PlayStation fan, you have to give them credit because they allowed it. There may have been speculation. There may have been, hey man, I don't know about this. But it worked out because Cory Balrog's vision worked. Let 343 Industries have their vision. Let them make it work and just see what they can do instead of trying to dictate what you want. I think once we get to that point, then we can stop talking about 343 and their situations and all of that. Halo 5 has got to deliver on all fronts. And you know what I'm saying? Because the Bungie fan of Halo is almost crippling and trying to make it go backwards. I hope it don't. I hope that they move forward from that, but we'll see.
I feel where you come from. Last super chat was what we got.
So we got the wise old gamer with the $5 super chat. Phil knew this gen is going to have diminishing returns. So props to PlayStation for putting in tech into the controller to make something feel next gen. Yeah. I mean that the first couple of days I was like, yeah. And every time I play Astrobot, I was like, yeah. Everything else though, like even in Demon Souls, they have this stab, like when you can stab the enemy up front and then you pick them up and like drop them down. You feel the rumble, but it's nothing to the extent what you feel with Astrobot. So it's like in the midst of gameplay, I'm not even noticing it. So it's one of those things where it's like after a week, you get over it.
They're gonna take that stuff out.
Look, man, we going on. Shout out to Medic, $10 super chat. Shout out to the Medic. I was talking to him last night. Remember, Sony's success came from years before the games came out. Their first party build-up started PS3 era and paid off 2016 plus. Payoff for Microsoft won't be 2021, but 2022 and beyond. Look, I get it. I get both sides. And me and you, shout out to the Medic. We've had this conversation. We had an intense little Discord debate. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. But I hear where he's coming from. At the end of the day, I see both sides. You know, there are going to be some people that say, nah, fam, I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of managing my expectations. And then for those people, it's like, yo, there's PlayStation, there's Switch. Go knock yourself out if you're so unhappy. But for me, I look at it, and I know KMEGA can look at respect this. Like, I look at it sports. Like, if you're not buying studios, you're not doing things that show me that you care about the future of your product and your organization, then I would question. But when I see those things, I'm like, nah, they in it to win it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of, okay, if you want to stick around or not. That's all this is. It's your patience as a gamer. Now, if you only have the Xbox platform and you're frustrated, I get it. But if you're a gamer, you got everything. You got stuff to play. So you Gucci regardless at the end of the day. Look, to Homie's article, I'll just make it real short. Definitely clickbaiting title. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to dance around it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because if you say that, and then I read your article, and you actually say the same thing in pertation to the PlayStation in the same article, then it takes away the weight of your title, in my opinion. All I will say is, when I read it, though, Yeah, a lot of the things he said were valid. Like there's, slight improvements here, a refined more Xbox One there. I can't get mad at it. The only problem I seriously had with the article, I've respected it, but the one thing I had was that he said a sentence. He's like, of course, no one in their right mind would buy the Series X because the console's exclusive. That's PlayStation. But he said it's galling to see Microsoft do little to change its ways. That's the sentence I have a problem with. Because how can you say it's galling for them to have nothing to do little to change its ways when they started with 8 studios to Sony's 14, and now they have 23.
It was 3 studios.
Right. But you talk about way back, but I'm talking about before, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, if I see someone acquire 23 studios, that is not they've done little to change their ways.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That is
absolutely.
addressing the issue that people have. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only beef with dude. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, look, you're not happy, you're not happy. Nobody forcing you to like it if you don't like it. Me personally,
You know what I like?
What's
You know
up?
what I like?
What's
I
up?
like when they addressed the issue,
Mhm.
right? They brought ZeniMax, right?
Right.
And it's like, but will they put the games on the PlayStation 5 too?
Right.
No,
Right.
not. Why is this even a conversation? No,
Mhm. No.
it's not.
Look.
I just love the fact that they addressed the issue, they addressed the problem.
Right.
But are you going to let us eat over there too? No, it's
Listen,
not.
from where I come from, if you spend that amount of money, you're trying to keep that in your ecosystem, especially if your game plan is Game Pass, PC, xCloud, mobile. That should be the market. You shouldn't have to rely on any going to a multi-plat at that point if you spend that money. Or, in my opinion, you would make an EA deal where the EA games still go over to PlayStation, but they're in Game Pass or whatever kind of thing. But this is not that level deal. But look, we're going on long. We got to move on. Crazy time. I'm on to my short. This is going to be super quick. It's about Lil Man, as King calls him. Lil Man. Lil Man. We got to talk about the Series S, Lil Man. So look, I'll make it quick. Obviously, when it was announced, 1440p, 120 hertz, almost same architecture to Series X, for the person who is budget conscious, who does not care necessarily about 4K, this is the system for them. And for the most part, like I said, they've been hitting the targets and stuff like that. The only thing I have to bring to the realm, it's just been bothering me. I gotta bring this out there. It's been bothering me. It's just that, like, okay, so we saw at first with Valhalla, when it was 30 frames on the Series S. At first, had a problem. Again, I'm not a developer, but in my problem, like, how could they not do 60 and bring the resolution down? You know what I'm saying? That was just me, right? Now, eventually, that did get addressed, right? And now, shout out to my boy, I forgot his name on Twitter. Oh, man, he showed me the footage, and I think Kiss Moon was another one. So now that's that. But y'all know I'm a big Destiny fan. Now, I don't even have the Series S. But when I saw the news about that 120 frames mode, right? And I'm looking at all the platforms, and I saw one platform wasn't supported. And I'm like, oh, man, why Little Man ain't got that? You know what I'm saying? So, again, and I'm not trying to make it seem, again, like I'm a developer, like it's so easy. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we know the whole thing, kits and tools, and I'm not going to get into that. All I'm saying is, like, to me, when you got Dirt, you got Gears 5 on the S running at 120. You've got examples of these other games running at 120. And all I'm asking for is just Crucible mode. I just would like that parity. So the thing I'm bringing to the realm, like, what's your thoughts on this situation? You know what I'm saying? Is it a situation where it's like, yo, they ain't hitting these performance targets because they can't? Or is it a situation where it's like, yo, they're treating it, we're worrying about the X first, you know what I'm saying? And they treat like that. It's like, where are you at with the Series S and these performance targets, KMEGA?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think
Okay.
if you look at it, that both consoles, I mean, the devs with all these, they're spread thin. Like, I mean, you got the Xbox One stuff. You have the Xbox S right now. You have the Series S. You got the Series X. Then you got PC. Then you got the Switch, and then you got PlayStation 4.
Factual.
You got the PlayStation Slim. You got the
Factual.
Pro, and then you got the
Factual.
5. So I think they're just they got too many things going on. And until some of these consoles get discontinued, I think that's going to be the problem from third party. Where the S is going to have to shine is the first party.
Right.
And that's where where people can understand, look, I mean, this is where this is where we can show you that this is capable to have the power. We might not really get that with the third party right now, but it'll eventually come. And I understand that some people might say, well, that's not cool, but other than that, I think anybody who wants to invest into the S anyway is only just wanting to get it because of the value and with
Right.
Game Pass, not so much of the person that want to invest into the latest, best televisions or monitors, things like that.
Not for you, KB. I guess my frustration just stemmed from the fact that I look at the innards and the specs for that S.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Yeah,
I look
it's
at
crazy.
that. People act, in my opinion, people acting like this is some little. I'm like, nah, this joint is a beast. If you really look at it, you know what I'm saying? It's a beast. That's all. But I hear your point. But Saul, what you think, man?
Yeah, I really do think a lot of what Mega said is correct. I just really do think when you have, on the third party side, you have, Ubisoft developing 9 versions of a title.
That's a good point.
The S is going to fall to the wayside simply because when you look at the install bases of last gen, they're going to continue to focus on making a decent game, a decent playing and running game on those machines for the foreseeable future. Right? I don't really think it's going to be quite some time before they just completely up and walk away from that stuff. So the S might find itself on the wayside a little bit until it becomes, the focus where it's just PS5, Series X, and the S. And then with the S, it is also one of those things when it comes to the perception of it. I do know, I have heard that a lot of streamers use it because it's a great sort of machine just for streaming, and you don't have to worry about the high frame, the resolution and stuff like that. But early on when Digital Foundry first got the S, they said one of the first things they said is like, this machine is probably more of a 1080p machine than a 1440 machine, right? And I think for those people that were looking for it to be a 1440p machine to use on their PC monitor or whatnot, that can be disappointing, right? So if you use it for that purpose and you're not just a casual gamer, you're looking for streaming or something like that, and it's not hitting those performance targets, I do think, definitely you'll definitely be disappointed by that. But I do think in terms of first party, they're going to do the best to maximize this machine. In the long term, it's just going to be slower. They're going to focus on the big boy, and that is for sure. But you can't for $300, this is a beast of a machine.
Oh, absolutely.
I really want to see what, these talk about, like this lack of RAM in the long term, what this means for these big first party games coming down the pipeline, that are going to look kind of crazy on the X. How are they going to look and run on the S? And will it be something that's comparable, right? And by comparable, I mean hitting that 60 FPS target. If you hit that, I think purchase of that machine will be fine. I really do.
Fair enough. I want to address something. Normally, I don't address the non-color. Samantha said, why don't you hold Microsoft accountable? Microsoft said Series X will lead performance. Microsoft said Series S is the 1440p 121st machine. Empty promises and y'all hush mouth. Excuse me. That's what the topic is here for. The topic is here for so that we can address this. That's not hush mouth. See, this is the issue. I know it's not in color. I know, and I shouldn't address it. But at the end of the day, you can't get on someone's platform and say, why don't you address it? When we're literally talking about why we may be a little disappointed and frustrated with this aspect. That blows my mind when people say, you got to hold them accountable. Like, what are you not listening to? Anyway, moving on.
Hey, one other thing
that should be held accountable more so than the machine, because this machine is more than capable, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a matter of you need to put the work in. Another thing it's a side sort of issue, but I think it's funny. All this talk about it being like the ultimate emulation machine or whatever, I think really works in its favor, right? When you look at the amount of people that bought PSPs to just jailbreak that machine, right? In the end, right, it messed up their ecosystem, right? I don't think Xbox has that problem because the ecosystem, since it's fluid across all their consoles, it doesn't really matter, right? And from what I can tell right now, you can enable that sort of emulation stuff without like voiding your warranty, meaning you could still use your machine normally. So again, it's a side conversation to be had, but I think in the long term, you see sales of that system get a bump just from that.
Oh no, absolutely.
That's why they letting the narrative out and not stopping it.
Get a super chat to get kicked. Let's talk about it, man.
We have E. Murray with the $5 super chat. People act like God of War Ascension didn't exist. 343 on this next Halo will be fine. Halo has to get 2 things perfect. Can Naughty Dog do that?
Interesting.
Okay.
Lucius
then we have Lucius Augustus with $2 super chat. Ori runs at 4K 60 FPS on the Series S.
I was just about to address that, Lucius. Don't you? Thank you so much.
Squirrely.
Give him extra bullets.
And we have Squirrely with $2 super chat. Can't cure stupid people, God.
I didn't say that. Squirrely be repping for the rebels. Squirrely be repping. Salute Squirrely, man. Yellow knife. Salute. You know what I'm saying? But I feel what you're saying. But now, King, like I said, I know the majority of these titles that they've said. You know, there are a lot of 120 frame games on the S. I'm not trying to disrespect Lil Man. I just was a little emotional when I saw the Destiny, and I was like, come on. In my opinion, I'm not a dev, but I'm like, damn, I feel Lil Man could do that.
But as a Series S owner,
yes,
as a Series S owner, and you
flexed on me. He said,
why
you have to flex on me? You're like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
He got big swole on you.
He got big swole. Okay, King.
I just had to show you my back.
Pardon my back. Pardon my back.
No, that's something we say up north.
That's in New York. That's a part. Oh, that's disrespectful. Go ahead.
Pardon my back. You know, that's highly disrespectful.
Yes.
You talk to somebody, you just turn around and pardon. You know what I'm saying? So anyway,
go ahead, Series S.
So as I see all this information coming out, first of all, the demographic isn't 120 hertz. Okay, they said up to 120 hertz. So that doesn't mean every title is going to reach that pinnacle. Also, it says up to 4K checkerboard, of course.
1440p.
Yeah, no, but
it could do 4K, but it's a 1440 machine.
Yeah, technically, what you're going to get is a 1080p machine, 60 frames per second.
Yes.
You know, basically, this is what they're trying to achieve: 1440p, 30 frames per second.
No, we're not 30, sir. 60,
for the TCL dudes.
60, sir.
All right,
talk to him.
This television isn't marketed to the high-end consumer. The high-end consumer is not worried about price. He's not worried about anything but the best. So when he walks in the store and he says, "Excuse me, what is the best Microsoft has to offer?" Somebody's not bringing him the white box. They're bringing him the black box. Okay? So when somebody's being frugal and they're coming in and they're trying to game on a budget and they want to achieve and they want to still play along, they're going to definitely pick up the white box. Right. Not saying that the white box isn't capable, but in these economic times right now, the white box is only viable for a lot of people. It was viable for me.
Right.
Okay, in my bedroom, I don't game that much, but if I choose to pick up my controller and play, my S is right there and is more than capable of hitting at 60 frames per second. I'm not asking for it to hit 120 frames in my bedroom because I'm not trying to be competitive with Little Man. Little Man is doing exactly what Little Man was purchased for. Little Man was purchased for that in between time. You know, shoot, I'm looking for my son to get Little Man, but you know what he said to me?
What he said?
I will wait, Daddy. I will wait for X because he likes to put physical games in his joint. I don't know where the hell he gets this from, but he likes to put physical games in it because he likes to go downstairs, pick up a disc, and throw it inside. That's why still, to this day, he still has his Xbox. I gave him the Xbox One X because he had the regular one. Yeah, and he loves that. So that is marketed to my son. That is marketed to the financially strapped dudes or the casual dudes. There's a lot of casual people that you say 120 frames. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Right. They don't know anything. They don't know 4K to 120. They don't care. They just want to get in, game, and get gone. Right. So when the performance is not hitting for certain people, we have a box for you. Right, and that box is the Xbox One X. I mean, the Xbox Series X. Right. I'm glad they discontinued the X. Yeah. Series X. But I understand your concerns.
No, but it's not even a concern. It's more so.
You just don't like the narrative.
I see Lil Man in the gym lifting that. Like I see him. Like he just did Gears. He just did what you call it? Dirt is doing 120. Like I see him. So I'm just like, yo, I don't. Yeah.
Those are people that got the good SDKs. I honestly believe that those people that's pulling that out of Little Man, they know how to talk to Little Man. You know what I'm saying? They got the good box to talk to him. Hey, Little Man, what I want you to do this round is I want you to spin left and move right. Little Man, I can do that. You understand? So they talking to Little Man in his language. I think the other dudes don't got the proper SDKs for him.
I feel you. Like I said, I just feel it's a powerful machine. I know we joke, we call it Little Man. I just feel it's a powerful machine, and I just don't want it to not get the full attention that the Series X is getting from a development kit standpoint, from a And it may very well, South may be right. It may very well just be the damn developer getting either the tools and getting more acclimated and how they can do stuff. And it just me being impatient. I just don't want it because, in my opinion, when I see stuff like Gears 5, Dirt, Ori, Rainbow Six Siege, you know what I'm seeing these games, I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting 120 in no fashion from them, to be honest. Yeah. And then when I see it, so now I'm like, nah, fam, we got to keep this level of consistency going through if possible. That's all I would say. It just me being...
There shouldn't be any reason for anybody to try to cap against, as you call it, little man.
Yeah.
When when people were easy to pay $300 for the Switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, factual. No, you're absolutely right.
There shouldn't even be no topics about it. I mean, anything.
Switch ain't even in the category as little.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
King, I'm a fan a little bit. I like what he tried to do out here, and I just want him to succeed.
I'm gonna tell you this right now: if they give me a portable screen that attaches to Lil Man, Lil Man might be going in my backpack. Like
Lil Man might be the man because he's small, he can move.
You know. That is a possibility.
Yeah, and we shout out to, I believe, my boy Ty Guy Travis from my gym we had on last week. He actually used to get those consoles that you put in the suitcase, and you remember you had the lid with the joint?
Yeah.
Like, I could totally see a series. But anyway, we gonna move. We gotta move. We gotta get out of here.
Remember the time we went to FanFest? He pulled out his Xbox right there with the screen?
Yes.
I was jelly as hell.
Paul, we got to get out of here because we done kept KMEGA to the limit. He like, Jesus, they like 5 hours.
Yeah, we can't talk about GRG no more. I'm like, well, hey, man, y'all, we working double time.
We working double shift.
Yeah, bro, we going in next week on GRG anyway.
Stop coming up with these fly gaming history stories, sparking memories. Anyway, do I help you forward? Right out of here. In regards to the recent departures of the 2 BioWare leads leaving the studio, which BioWare franchise, in your opinion, has the best chance for success moving forward? The choices are A, the Mass Effect series, B, Dragon's Age, C, Anthem, or D, stop it, fam. We all know BioWare is officially in the bushes from this point going forward. Those are the choices. Please rock the vote when it goes up on ILP Twitter. Lord KMEGA from GRG Podcast. Some of the best gaming history ever. Crazy positive message. Long overdue to unify these realms of the GRG Podcast, ILP. We tremendous respect. Always appreciate you, what you do out here in the industry and also the community, as well as get a chance to actually meet you in person, E3s, conventions, moving and shaking. Salute to the team. Where can the fine people find you? What you have going on, sir?
All right, man. Really appreciate it, man. This was a lot of fun, man. I got to definitely get you guys on GRG, man, for sure. Y'all got the time. Hey, no doubt. You catch me on Twitter at KMEGA4, on Twitch, KMEGA405. Fight night tonight, so get ready for that. It's going to be fun. A lot of trash talking.
So
we're getting down, and then of course I'll take my L's. There'll be people in there that's going to go across my head, but it's still just fun. For the love for fighting. Also the my YouTube channel. KMEGA405, and of course the GRG podcast that comes on every Friday night. I think we're going to go back to our original time at 8:00 instead of 7.
Okay.
And so that's probably what we're going to do on that. But it's every Friday night. And then shout out to the next podcast. I do that every Thursday night with my boy Xbox448 and the team over there, Fred and all of them. And then just everybody that's been a part of this, man. Thank you guys for having me on, man. This was fantastic day.
Fantastic, man.
Great.
Long overdue, brother. Love what you're doing.
Long overdue.
Also love your fight love. Rare that we get people that love the fight games the way we do, and you still keeping that going.
Phil, get these fighting games on this Xbox, man. We need that Guilty Gear Strife. We need that King of the Fighters. We need it all, bro.
The new King of the Fighters. Yes, we do.
Yes, we need it. We need it.
Factual, man. Absolute pleasure. So I'll get that joint, and then you get your outro, sir.
We got E. Murray with the $5 super chat. AMD just released the full features of RDNA 2, so expect the Series X GDKs to be updated to get better performance. PS5 is performing slightly better now.
Okay, let's get AMD up right. Let's get that. So, Lord, where can the fine people find you, man? Rocking out.
Yeah, First, shout out to Mega, man. We met Mega at E3 a couple years back. It feels like forever ago, but man, Mega is that dude. You see him, big smile on his face, give you a big hug. It's always love. Like, it's amazing to have people in the community like that, and just people that you just spoken to a couple of times, whether on social media or whatever. When you meet them, and it's just like his fam, like it's just love. That's a beautiful thing, and I can say that about damn near everybody that we met at E3, you know. It's like, you know, you have this relationship online, whatever the case may be. You meet these people in person, it just flows the same way.
So, Megatron, Tim Dog, all of them. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely, 100%.
When I met Colt and his wife, man, it was just it's fantastic out there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, as for me, I will not be going to work today because I owe Flamish an appearance on his podcast. So check me out on the EXE's podcast at 4 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube.
Double shift.
Double shift today. Flamish the Positive Game. I think Clowns is going to be on today and a couple other heads. So come through and check it out. It's going to be a great show. That's 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then beyond that, I go back to my regular schedule this week. So
no doubt.
I'll be in the bushes.
Salute to South pulled up. Lord King with the smoke and the jokes as usual. Where can the five people find you? What you got going on, sir?
First, shout out to KMEGA and the team. We all connected. So any man that drives out to Calabasas,
we gotta respect K-Man because bad people ain't want to come see us, King.
Dude's definitely fronted on us. And you definitely a real one. So that for that drive, you definitely got my fealty.
Appreciate it, man.
Definitely 100%. Y'all dudes came out there. Y'all was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And we hung out, on Fan Fest. And for those that want to see K-Mega's skills in gaming, Tim versus Tim Dog. If you're a member of the realm, that means, like, follow, and subscribe, and also hit that join button at the bottom. And you can see that video in the back that I got, because it's little things that we record, while we there. But that was something that was definitely epic, because these dudes was talking hot garbage to each other, and I was definitely Terry.
Madden, right? Was that Madden?
It was Madden.
Yeah,
it was right.
Love that Madden too.
These dudes is definitely football fanatics, boy. Two big boys out there getting it done. It was fantastic, and I'm glad I captured it. All right, so for a lot of y'all that's saying, yo, King, where that KOS at? Word. I've been trying to get this Battle of the Planets, this G-Force, this Gotchi Man, this Eagle Rock. What's going on, King? Well, King, media mod came in. Let me see if I can lean that in there. Can y'all see that? Yeah. All right, so the media mod came in for the GoPro 9. I said, yeah, we're going to put this on. We're going to get this working. I sat there and I shot the video and I talked. I was like, yeah, and I did it. And at the end, something going on with the GoPro 9.
Damn.
Exactly. Threw me straight into the bushes.
Damn.
And I said, okay, I'll figure it out, and I'm gonna figure this stuff out, because I have statues that's in the back, and I want you guys to see that. So this is what we're gonna be doing with Dolph Castle X. Being that I'm trying to get the numbers up for Dolph Castle X, what I will be doing on Dolph Castle X is I will be doing live unboxings. Nice. So my live unboxings, I will also be recording this. So when I do my KOS, you'll get the synopsis, the story, and everything about the statue, but you get the live, unfiltered unboxings, no editing. Just, you just check it out, see me unbox the statues. Dolph Castle X is Fridays at 9 p.m. I say it's
DCX YouTube channel, so people know, right? DCX.
DCX. Yeah. Go there, join, hit the subscribe button. And definitely check us out 9 p.m. It's a little off color, so
yeah, they loose.
Yeah, talking some stuff over there. You definitely have fun. You can find me on Twitter, King David OTW. You can find me on Xbox, King David OTW. You can find me on PlayStation whenever I activate this thing again, because I still haven't been able to log into my PlayStation account. That's Xbox 360 Lover 01.
Maybe your name has something to do with it, but continue.
Me and make me start from scratch, but I got at least 2 games over there that I paid for, and I want my games. I'm not doing like Sovereign, and I'm not going to let y'all erase my games like Thanos. I want to play my game, so
Fair enough, man. Shout out to Gaming by Choice. Follow Super Chat. Great show, guys. I just subbed to KMEGA. Everyone keep it gaming.
Appreciate it.
Much love to all game. Yeah, salute, man. GRG and KMEGA. That's
Shout out to Dan the Man Cunningham. We can't go a show without saying Dan
I
the
love
Man
that name,
Cunningham.
Dan the Man. You already know. But yeah, man.
And shout out to One Bad Mother for man.
Yes.
He's the one that hooked. That's my brother that hooked me up with that Series X, man. Thank you.
Woo! Shit,
Thank you.
That's good people. That's good people, man. Look,
Yeah,
man.
real good
Salute everybody. KMEGA's absolute pleasure, man. You already know to have you in around long overdue. Had to make the call, get my brother. You already know. And yeah, man, we got some more fun shows lined up for the rest of the year. Approaching soon, a couple more, and then we'll go back to 1 p.m. Eastern in the New Year song. So we're almost finishing up with 11 a.m.
You know, I could have used 1 p.m. today.
Yeah, you can use it today because you was in the bushes.
I could too.
But yeah, word, especially with your time.
Yeah, me too.
Salute for everybody. The love was tremendous, man. Love what you're doing. Hit those likes. I forgot. Attic told me if you hit the likes, he was gonna give away a code. I forgot. Damn it! But we will get that code. We'll get the Patreons, everything next week, right? Soft. We'll get everything straightened out. Look, everybody enjoy your Sunday. That's all I got. Anybody got anything else? If not,
we got one more. We got Shroom Kingdom with $2
God.
super chat. King reset the PS5 and swiped the card by the bank.
And on that note, everybody enjoy your Sunday. We out of here. Peace.
Oh wait, one more Suicide King. Welcome to the realm, Suicide King.
Enjoy
Put the crest in the chat. Put the crest in the chat.
And the horns went up. Oh, the hills went up.
They want to see that video. I'm telling you, that video is legit. They want to see that video.
Suicide Kings, welcome to the
Sorry
realm.
about that, Tim Dog.
Yeah. Look, if you want to see somebody get smoked about it, make sure you watch that video. Yo, everybody enjoy your Sunday. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
You